I believe I'm the best trainer in the UK. Have I proved that? No.
Yeah.
No way. There is on paper people that are way better of a coach than me on paper. But if you had to go from raw passion and everything else, you ain't going to be the best if you don't believe you're the best. I believe I'm the best coach in the UK, personally. I believe I can train anyone because I've got a good understanding of different style of Thai boxing, different body types, different people personalities and stuff like that. But very much back in the day, it was like if you train at Minotaurs, you're a strong puncher, you're a strong low kicker. You're a very aggressive style. Like I challenge people all the time. Minatour Gym is not me. Minatour Gym is not my dad. Minatour Gym is Minatour Gym. It's been one of the top gyms in the UK forever. Yeah. And I plan to keep it that way. When my dad passed, it's the only thing that got me through it. It's the only thing that got me through it. I was like, I am fucking keeping that legacy going as long as I can. And like, I live through my dad, through the gym, paying respect to him every single day. Do you know what I mean? And that is more important to me than anyone can. I can never tell you how much important that is to me. Yeah. I cannot fucking tell you. So I'm gonna make sure I fucking leave a legacy behind that is undeniable. All of that. Nah. So me, like, us as a family, yeah, we're a bit impulsive. Like once we say we want to do something, we get like twitchy and we just go all out. Like when I used to work in construction, I used to do like 3D software and like I've taught myself like 7 different softwares with 7 different things. It's just mad, all self-taught. Max the same. Gets obsessed. Now he just can't stop working. He's worse than me.
Is that why you think you're a good trainer though, or like, do you think that goes into the sort of training and fighting?
I think you have to take pride in what you do. I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, hold a bit of pads, give a bit of generic advice, and then like I feel like as coaching, like you got to be able to adapt an individual, and to be able to do that, you have to be able to be a bit relatable and care a bit. Do you know what I mean? Where if you're just like clocking in, clocking out, when you don't. Do you know what I mean? That's
part-time.
Before I started.
Yeah. No, it's on, but we just got.
That's good. That's all right.
We used to start it proper. We used to be like.
We used to do it like this. Intro.
Hello, people. Welcome to the Curious VG, and I'm your host VG.
I'm the co-host Rain.
And we got Lewis Taylor with us. We used to do it like that.
Good, man.
But people. We got Lewis Taylor with us. Minotaur's Gym owner, coach. Actually fought as well back in the day before you got into coaching. Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Obviously, Minotaurs is like the amount of questions. Like we've never had any response like that.
The gym is like the oldest gym down south. Yeah. It's quite hard to like because of the gym. It wasn't Minotaur Gym originally. It was like called Watford Thai Boxing. And I think my dad ran that like 6 years prior to Minotaur Gym. And then once he moved out of Watford, he couldn't call it Watford Muay Thai anymore. Do you know what I mean? When he moved to Bushy. So that's it's old, man. It's old. Like I think it's only him and maybe 1 or 2 more that are like. Probably the pioneers of Southern Thai boxing.
But people take pride when they fight there. Like it fit. Like obviously we were new to the Muay Thai scene, but when you hear Minotaur, the gowns, everything,
you know
it's very traditional.
Yeah, like I'm the. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There probably is maybe a few, but I'm the only one that I know, which we have our own gowns, our own shorts, and they've never changed for as long as I've lived. Them gowns and stuff you see, man, they're old as me.
Yeah.
And the Minotaur music. Again, almost probably about as old as me.
Yeah.
I think we must be the only gym that has our own music that all the fighters walk out to.
Yeah.
If you fight for Minotaur Gym, you're walking out to that music. There's nothing else.
Yeah,
makes it easier for promoters. I'm like, here you go. That's it.
We did have someone did question in about the music and how that come about. Like, because for a fighter, if I fought fighting, for me, it's like a ring walk.
Yeah.
My own music, ring walk. But yous are like, this is the music. Nah.
Oh, I love tradition. I love culture and like especially when I took over the gym from my dad, like that was like a big thing for me, and I was like, I am not gonna change anything. I was like, it will stay purple and white shorts. It will stay that fight music for as long as there's a tailor in the gym. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's a guy called Hit Zol. He does all my filming on social media and all that. He's like, I call him my crazy uncle Hit. He's like carried me since I was born, but he used to be like a DJ. He used to be like a music producer. I don't know how it came about, but he made it. And like, if you listen to the music, it says in there like Minotaur's ready to fight.
Yeah.
And like, he loves drum and bass. It's like a drum and bass beat, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then like, it's stuck. And then every time you go to shows, I was like, oh my god, Minotaur music, all that.
Yeah.
Or like people come to me all the time, like, oh, I haven't heard that in ages. Or especially like, because I'm quite. I quite plan out my years in advance, especially with fight shows and stuff. Like, so if I go like for instance, the last couple of years I've stuck like in like London or like Greater London area, but now like next year I want to try and go up, got like Manchester more, Leeds, Birmingham, just go out a little bit. And if I ever do them shows like randomly, everyone's like, oh, I know that song in ages. It's great. I love it.
That's good to have that sort of tradition as well. And you're like one of the youngest coaches and the youngest gym owners.
It's weird, yeah, because I'm one of the young. I'm probably, again, off the top of my head, I can think of. I'm probably the youngest professional gym owner with probably one of the most experience as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's weird, yeah, because I've done this my whole life. Like anything else, I'm the youngest who's still probably one of the most experienced. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like coaching wise. I've been coaching since I was like 17, 18. I'm almost 30. I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's quite a long time considering I'm only 29.
And being young. I was
going to say, because I watched you years back on Instagram. I see you with a guy, Ollie March, on. And you were hitting pads. You were just in a little square.
Yeah, that was before I had the gym full time. It was before I had my own gym. Like, so when I took over the gym for my dad, it was just part time. It was like 3 times a week, renting out places, and I used to train my fighters individually in my garden. I had a bit like a big unit. I used to train them all there outside of class times. So I used to do my PTs there. So yeah, like, and then
coming a long way, man. That's
mate,
mad,
yeah.
isn't it?
Honestly, like COVID was the best thing that happened to me. If COVID never happened, I wouldn't. You've been out of the gym, like I wouldn't have had all that. I wouldn't have the team I have. Like COVID for a lot of people is the worst thing. It's the best thing that happened to me.
Now we say that as well. We're like COVID was one of the
I feel like it was one of them ones you went. You either bounced with it or you just went down.
Yeah. You become like a complete alcoholic in COVID. Or you were like, I need to change my life. I need to do something in my life. No, mate.
Proper self-reflection.
You've got fat and become alcoholic. Or you were like that guy running every day. Running. Nah, mate, that was me, mate.
Obviously, your dad was Muay Thai fighter. He done boxing, stuff like that.
So my dad was originally a boxer.
Yeah.
He was a Golden Gloves boxer. He used to fought up to he was about 17, and he just fell out of love with it. Like boxing's people don't know, man. It is a business more than a sport. Yeah. It's a sport from a whole, but it is a business without a doubt. Like more than what people realise. And when my dad realised that, I was like, yeah, fuck that, I'm out. Because they don't really get looked after. Like not really. You get treated like meat. Just as long as you can sell shitloads of tickets and.
It's a graft, man.
Mate, I've got some friends that are pro boxers, and I'm like, fuck that, mate. Like they're basically paying for their own opponents. Do you know what I mean? They're like, they buy the tickets off the promoter, and they have to sell them. You know, like, I know some fantastic amateur boxers, and they never made it as a pro because they couldn't sell more than 10 tickets. Yeah. Even 100 tickets as a pro isn't good.
We spoke to someone like that that was fighting one of our mates, and he was like, if you can't sell tickets, you will not make it far.
Doesn't matter how good you are.
And I didn't...
Professional boxing is not about talent.
I didn't understand that. I was like, but surely if the cream rises to the top, if you're good, you're good. But you have to be marketable. Like, look at...
you have to be marketable.
There's a guy from down Dartford. I think is it Archie Sharp? He's WBO world champion. He's fighting at York Hall. WBO world champion. He's a world champion.
It's what people don't realise, mate. And to be honest, MMA's not too far off that.
Yeah.
Not as bad. At least MMA's got like it's a bit newer and that. But boxing as a whole, man, like. And the thing is as well, like the guys and girls that sell tickets, yeah, they're the ones that are like they're out down the pub all the time and like so they've got this big community. But how are you meant to have both and train all the time? So what usually happens is they get to a certain point and then they got to level up and they just.
Yeah.
It's a weird game, man.
Because not going out all the time, you lose.
Yeah. You
lose the ticket sales, you lose the friends and the people like that because you're not out on the. It's kind of like selling cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be in the booze and sell the cocaine.
But that's it. You got to have that lifestyle. You have to have that lifestyle. To do well in boxing, you have to be talented at boxing, but you also have to have like a bit of a wrong in beginning. Like it's the truth, though. It's the harsh reality.
You got to have that gritty, grimy.
Anyway,
man.
that's why my dad didn't go into boxing. That's basically it. Yeah, mate.
But you started fighting at 8. Yeah. Around that sort of age, anyway.
Just before or just after? Yeah.
What got you into fighting for people who don't know your story? And
mate, I'm
like
gonna be honest, man. I truly just believe it was just being around the gym. My dad never pushed me into fighting. It was just being around it. Like I'm a trainer's son, right? Most trainers' sons, by the time they hit like 16 to 18, they fight. They find booze. They find women. They're like, I'm out. They're like, I'm out. But most of them don't stick at it. I think the only reason why I did is because my dad didn't push me. Like I just started fighting at 8. kept doing it. And when I was younger as well, I remember fighting with no like head guard, no body protector, like making kids cry. And then suddenly you got to wear like head guards and shit and body protectors. And this just sucks.
Yeah.
And then so even when I started fighting, it was still a bit like I remember I used to open up on all the shows. Like I used to be like the first fight on the shows, and then it just would be adults. There was no like kid tournaments like there is now. There's definitely no belts or anything like that.
They don't do belts for kids.
Not when I was younger. No, not really. Now they're like, you see like 10-year-olds of like 10-time world champions.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine a lot of kids back then wanting to do Muay Thai. Or
it wasn't a small scene, just maybe not too much down south.
Yeah.
It was quite a like small community again anyway, but they're still quite a small community now, but back then definitely much. But I fought a lot from between the age of probably 8 to 12. And then hit 12, 13, you go start going out with your mates and all that. I never stopped training, I stopped fighting. And I didn't start fighting again properly Thai boxing until I was about 15, 16.
Yeah.
So I had 3 years out, I reckon, 2-3 years out.
Because I know you were fighting in Thailand and you're going back and forth with your dad.
So I've gone
like
Thailand my whole life. Since I've been Thailand more times than old I am.
Did you live in Thailand for any?
No, so family was going to move out there.
Yeah.
So the thing was finish year 11 and then go live in there. Like mum and dad built a house out there. Like I had it all set up, and then suddenly they're like, hold on, actually, like we're gonna move. I'm on a 4 as well. We're gonna move a whole like family to a little island in Thailand with no education system.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, so it ended up just being a holiday home.
Yeah.
But I've gone every year, twice a year, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And then that's not including the times I've gone by myself. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I used to go out every summer, 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks, and then every Christmas around like 3 or 4 weeks.
So would your dad go out there and like take classes and train?
No. So my uncle owns WMC Lamai in Samui. It's quite a famous gym in Thailand because probably one of the first like big Western gyms out there really. And so I used to go out there every year and just train there. My dad would like train us out there if we weren't the Thai trainers or just get on the jolly up. Yeah. My dad my dad was a workaholic, so if he wasn't in the gym, he was just working in general. So if he wasn't taking us on pads and while we're on holiday, he'd be working or just going out with us afterwards. Yeah, so just training, man, really, just training.
What was it like fighting in Thailand at that young age? Because I bet it wasn't like now. A lot of fighters are going over there and doing really well. I know you were going over there. You had the downwards, you had the knockout, didn't you?
Downwards. I only fought on the islands. Yeah. So the islands are like they're hit and miss. Like I remember I fought some shit Thai once, and I was like, please don't ever give me a Thai. I think I knocked him out with a jab. I was like, please don't. I don't want anything like that again. So I've fought some decent Thais on the island, but they are hit and miss. Yeah. I'll be honest with that. Like you get some wicked ones, man. Some of them are great. Some are like ex-champions from like Bangkok.
Yeah.
But then some you see them fight every week, and you think, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, fighting in Thailand is amazing. Like you feel like a superstar. Like that's what I try to explain to people. Like that was probably the main reason why. It was not the main reason. It was a good reason for me to sort of go into coaching. The main reason was I had the option. It was either carry on the gym or it goes. It's gone. But the other one was like I was fighting in Thailand. You're fighting in stadiums and like you got people coming at the back. They're like feeling your arms. They're like, "Oh, see how strong you are," and like everyone was cheering your name. I've been French, Australian, and English when I've out in Thailand. So like you just got random people, like French people cheering for me, Australians. Yeah. If you fought on the island, you know what I'm on about. But it just you feel like a superstar when you come back and when you fight in a sticky nightclub. You're like, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like it's. I've never really liked fighting, so I'm not that guy who's like, it's fucking have a fight. That's not me. Like I like competing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I like I say a story all the time. I've taken like 8 last-minute fights, like a day or 2 notice. Hated every single one of them. Won every single one of them. Hated every single one of them. Hated it just because I didn't like the fact that I didn't perform as well as I did.
You're not prepared.
Not prepared. Hated it. But I just did it just because I just wanted the experience of time. When you're young, you don't really care. But afterwards, I never thought that was great.
You want to be like fully prepped.
Got my hand up every time I fought. Got my hand raised every time I fought. That was shit. I could have done better.
Yeah, you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint. Like, I want to dominate this man. I want to do. I want
to show my skill. I want to show where like
not like I want to go in there and get 10 shots and show how tough I am and fucking throw down in the middle.
Yeah, exactly that. And
so
that's why. That's why. Like after fighting Thailand, I come back. I was always a bit like it was all right, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And then took a couple of years out after I took over the gym full time, just training people and just like I did a little bit of training, not too much. And then from like 23 to 26. Again, went back fighting in Thailand again. And just loved it, but I was fighting in Thailand with no coach, and it was just... Like, I'm in the corner and you've got like 10 Thais screaming at you, and I'm thinking, right, what did I do that round? What did I do? What did he do? What should I do?
You cornering yourself.
Like, kick more, punch more, and you're like, that's not advice. That's not advice. Or like, do you know what I mean? It's a bit, but fighting in Thailand's a great experience. Again, I've never done like the Bangkok scene, but I fought in all the stadiums in Samui, and I love it. I do love it.
Do you recommend your fighters and people in your gym to sort of go out there and experience it if they're looking to take it like...
Definitely, yeah, definitely. It's a whole other experience. It's great. And like, it's imagine, I don't know, I've always had this dream of like, if I ever won the lottery, I would find a bit of land and open like a stadium dedicated to martial arts. You're telling me that thing wouldn't get filled out every weekend? There's shows every weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like every week, or even the week, like a Friday night or whatever, like just have a permanent ring in there or whatever, and just, I'd love to do that.
Sort of like what York Hall is for boxing.
Yeah.
Every week there's a show in York Hall boxing.
Yeah.
Every single
that's
week.
why York Hall's so iconic, because it's known to have boxing fights there all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still a leisure centre though.
Yeah.
But it's still attached to a swimming pool.
I did not know.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was just like an opera house or something.
No, it's literally attached to a swimming pool.
I went to do interviews the next door when I went to Sam King's fight, and I was walking through, and this guy was like, "Yeah, the rooms." It was with Queensbury, so it was BT, and they were like, "Yeah, the rooms up here."
And the rooms are shit.
I walk out,
Yeah.
and I walk onto these stairs, and I'm like, "There's fucking pool. There's a pool there. There's a swimming pool."
Yeah,
and we
it's
walk
mad.
up, and there's
like,
a room at the top.
if you've never been, you've got this image of like this iconic like
Colosseum.
this Colosseum built.
It's a dungeon.
It's just like got the shittest changing rooms ever.
Yeah. Especially when Muay Thai's in there.
Yeah, people
because there's
kicking and shit.
so many fights in a Muay Thai show. York Hall is not the best venue for that.
It's not. But it's still iconic.
Yeah.
And if you got a show in York Hall, like casuals will go there because it's York Hall. Everyone knows York Hall. It's mad, but I'd love to open a stadium like in England. Like that.
It'd probably do well though.
I think so.
Yeah.
You're telling me you went for that with kickboxing, boxing, karate, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Thai boxing alone, it'd do well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But yeah, anyway, fighting in Thailand, just having like like you can just feel it. Like everyone's there's going crazy. Why do you have to sell any tickets? And you ain't on that bollocks. And you just got everyone there is generally there to see fights. Not one person. How many times you've been to shows where like someone sold the most tickets, and as soon as they're done, it's like
Empties,
Gone,
yeah.
Like it's not that the people there are there for fighting, and it's great. I love it.
How many fights do they have out on their sort of shows in Thailand?
Not even that many. 8 or 10.
8 or 10.
8 or 10. Do you know what I mean? So you're not there like 7 hours, 8 hours like you are over here. Yeah, like maybe 8 or 10
But I feel like if there was a dedicated place for Thai here, there wouldn't be like this 25, 30 fight card.
It's hard because like what we were saying about the boxing, right? Like you need to be able to sell tickets. Thai boxing is not like that. There's only a few guys that are at the top of the top that can sell shitloads of tickets. But there's guys up there at the same level that they don't sell tickets, and promoters will have them on because we're all fight fans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. If you're going to have this guy who doesn't sell any tickets, but he's very good, he's worth it, he might bring in a few like casuals that will come see him and that. But you also need the people underneath the card to fill that. Like, the people that are fighting C-class and novice. Why do you think you see fights with all these kids?
Yeah,
These kids sell mad tickets.
Yeah, it's just loads of people come.
Parents.
Yeah, parents are telling all their friends, "Oh, my kid's fighting for a world title bout against some guy in Hemel." Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like
Basically a southern area,
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's like, but that's it's mad. Like you go to these shows, I'm like, you see these kids fighting, and like you see all these like, they've sold like 3 or 4 tables. You think, Jesus Christ, like it's mad. But then you got these guys that are like legit top of the top in UK Thai boxing. They can sell 20 tickets?
Yeah. Because Joe asked us a question the other day on what do you think holding.
This coffee's good, by the way.
He likes that. PEDs in that coffee.
TRT.
He was sort of saying to us about what do you think the issue is, why it's not growing as fast, or from your perspective, because we don't train Muay Thai, we're not massive Muay Thai fans, we sort of just ended
Thai
up in
boxing
this
is
scene.
definitely growing.
100%.
Definitely growing. Like, especially the last few years, it is growing mad. But the reason why it's probably not growing as fast as people would like to is because it had probably a too traditional start. Do you know what I mean? Like, people that go to MMA shows or boxing shows, right? That's funny. I was having this conversation the other day. I was like, boxing and MMA are one of the very few combat sports where you can be a fight fan and never walk into the gym. Does that make sense? Like, How many people know that watch boxing but have never boxed before or MMA?
Yeah.
I know loads of people like that.
loads
But like,
people.
if you're a Thai boxing man, it's because you've done Thai boxing.
Yeah, that is weird. Actually,
do you know what I mean? Like
that's
BJJ
true.
as well.
Yeah.
Same as BJJ.
Yeah.
Like same thing. Like kickboxing, same thing. Like, but boxing and MMA, that I think because casuals just love to fight. They love a scrap. They don't appreciate the art of fighting. And if they do, it's something that they've eventually appreciated. Do you know what I mean?
On the head. I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
I think that is what it is.
Where now, especially with like one championship and stuff like that, they've got rid of the Ram Muay, they've got the little gloves on. Ultimately, little gloves go, ooh, knockouts.
Yeah.
I mean, from a traditional standpoint, like some of them fights all look the fucking same to me personally.
Yeah.
One championship, if you know what I'm talking about anyway.
Yeah, but I think there's less actual Thai boxing in one championship.
Yes.
It's more like they're going to, it looks more
boxing-
MMA when they're on their feet. Like
Boxing
they're kind
with
of
a few elbows.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, like like it's like the highest level scrap you're ever going to get in your life.
Yeah.
But, do you know what I mean? It's like,
No, don't get me wrong. Technical beast, we're talking.
Technical beast, but it's still a scrap.
Yeah, because funny you say that. John Haggerty's last 2 fights didn't throw hardly any kicks.
Hands.
It was more, he went in there and just threw hands.
Yeah.
Where you look at it and go, he could probably.
But also, I think it's the
fucking
narrative. Like
boxing.
people, like especially like in the last year, people were like, they're like, fight for entertainment, get the bonus. So all these guys just thinking about this money and this entertainment factor, where they're like just fucking bumping heads. And as soon as you do that, it's like it's just a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter on the skill level. You're both agreeing to bump heads and both swing.
Yeah.
It's whoever lands cleaner first, really.
Yeah.
Where like back in the day, it was more like strategic. Do you know what I mean? Like you still see some of these stadium fights. You think, I mean, I'm a purist, so I appreciate the style matchups and just the general like skill and the adaptation between rounds. I love that. But to the casual fan, they don't know what they're looking at. Again, from the casual fan, all they see is two guys swinging kicks and punches with the odd knees and elbows in there. Do you know what I mean? So you got to somehow make it relatable. And the only way you make it relatable, I personally think, is just make it a little bit more brutal. Do you know what I mean?
Do you like the little gloves though?
I do and I don't.
Yeah, I heard you and McGowan talking
I do
about
and
it on
I
his
don't.
podcast.
I just think it's a different sport when you put them little gloves on, because it's kind of like sparring and fighting. Like you're sparring and fighting, that you're both throwing shots at each other, but they're two different things. Do you know what I mean? They're sort of under the same banner, but they're not the same things. The same as the little gloves, right? Like when I've been, like my last time I was in Thailand. Sorry, second last time I was in Thailand. I was sparring with a few guys that were fighting in one. And I'm sparring them and they've got these little gloves on, and you just think the way you'd throw shots is different, the way you defend shots is different. It's a completely different sport. And I like it because I think it's great for clinch, but then they don't allow you to clinch in one. So it's like, because they want people to throw hands more. Do you know what I mean? And like, I think the little gloves requires better footwork. You can't take shots to give shots as much. I mean, unless you're Rod Tang, who's just a mental nutcase.
He's thick neck, man. He's been on that mushroom coffee. Rod Tang.
Definitely, mate. But I like it because I love what he's doing for the sport, like growing it. But I just think it's a different sport to pure Thai boxing.
Yeah.
I look at it as just like a different style of Thai boxing. Do you know what I mean? That's why I look at it like European boxing to Cuban style boxing.
Is the scoring system still the same then?
No, way different. This is another thing people don't realise.
But this is what I'm saying. So for a casual fan,
that's what I really don't like about
it. Is it actually bringing more people to, like, is it actually growing normal Thai boxing?
No. For a casual fan, it's growing that style of Thai
one
boxing.
championship style.
So like, it probably is growing it, but not like, so say like you got casual fans that will like enter into, like they'll find one championship and they'll see that. It grows one championship, but the people that find one championship are growing the views on that. Probably, like say like you got Raja World Series, you've got like obviously like UK Thai boxing.
Yeah.
It's probably growing it a little bit, but probably just more one championship Thai boxing more than anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you.
Do you know what I mean? Like even the scoring system, like it's scored heavily on the aggressor rather than the effectiveness. Like Thai boxing should be based on like effectiveness. Who's being more effective at what they want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Old school Thai boxing, like you used to like no scoring of punches. That's not so necessarily the case anymore. It's who's doing more effective. Like if you're walking forward, swinging punches at me, but I'm kicking and moving off,
and you're controlling.
I'm being more effective. That should score more. But in one championship, it does score the aggressor a bit. And also, if you get, that's another thing I hate about one championship, and still a lot of people don't know about it. Say it's a 3-round fight. Say me and you are fighting. Let's say you knock me down in round 1, flash knockdown, and then I score you for the rest of the fight. You win.
Yeah.
It's like that one knockdown in a 3-round fight, even though in theory had to be a draw on the scorecards, you still win just because of the knockdown. You're like, well, you might as well just get a knockdown and run away for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you see some, like, Ferrari Fairtex is like one of the, like, he was like Thai Fighter of the Year. He's like one of the best Thais to ever come out of Thailand, like, especially in the last few years. His one championship run hasn't been that great.
I was gonna say, are these fighters that are fighting in the small gloves, could they do that in the heavier gloves though? Would they be champions in heavier gloves?
Probably not. Some will. I say
It's hard, yeah.
If I had to put a percentage, probably no. But you take the puncher's chance out of it then?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Because like I'm saying to Joe, I'm like, from a neutral's point of view, I don't know who the best fighter in the world is.
Yeah.
In a sense, because you look at...
So like everyone thinks Rod Tang's like the best thing ever since... No, like he's amazing.
Yeah.
But Nongo's better than him, Superlex better than him, like Pampe X probably better than him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like before one championship, Rod Tang was doing like really good in the stadiums, but he got beat a couple times.
Yeah.
Like Ron Kick, Gao, they beat him of recent years. But the casuals, I don't know this. They just see this madman swinging, hurting people, looking great doing it, entertaining. Because he's entertaining, right?
Entertaining, yeah.
Like most people don't talk about Rod Tang's had a lot of close decision fights in one championship. But the casual don't know that because they just see highlight videos, seeing some guy punch head. But that's the stuff, unfortunately, that will, not unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, it will grow the sport, but it gets rid of the purity, the pureness of the sport. Do you know what I mean? Like, but in any sport, you need casuals to get the views in it.
Yeah.
There's always going to be. There's always going to be more. Same as football. How many people do you know that they just love football, but they don't play it?
Yeah.
Well, they did when they was young, but they don't count. They just love football, but they don't play it.
Yeah.
Where at the moment, UK Thai boxing's, most people that come to the Thai boxing shows, they do it. Or they have some sort of relationship to it. But it is growing more. It is. We're in a weird era of it. I think the next 5 years will really tell. And I think it's going in the right direction. It's just, I'm a purist. I don't want to lose the pureness of it.
What's your thoughts with Leapfrog?
Oh, I think they're fantastic, man. I love them guys. They know I love them as well. Like, I love them. I'd support them every day of the week. I think many people have tried to do what they've done, but they've been too greedy about it. Like, in any... If you've been in the sport long enough, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. And we've got too many chiefs and not enough workers. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you want to call them. Do you know what I mean? Like, too many managers, not enough actual workers. Everyone wants to be the big boss. Everyone wants to be the big I am. Leapfrog have come in and gone, we love this sport. We want to support it. We want to support every show. We're not governed by anybody. We're not going to be like, we'll support everyone that will support us. And they're smashing it. I mean, last weekend, they had 5 shows on in one night. It's mad. And they're doing it for a subscription, which is cheap. And it's great. What they're doing is great. It's even helped people like me. Like, I'm not really a social media guy. I'm very much like, I love what I do. I get on with it. But every time they tag me in videos of me being in the corner, I didn't know they were there.
Yeah.
And then people see, like, see my passion, and then I get recognised by it, and because I get recognised, the gym gets recognised by it, and then people recognise the fighters. Do you know what I mean? It's like this big circle.
Yeah,
I
everyone's scratching everyone's back.
The Thai boxing needs more people like them in the sport. People that just want to, because they support everything. They do MMA, they do boxing. Do you know what I mean? They're not greedy about it, and that's what will make their passion and their love for the sport is what will make them successful. Not their greed, not their ego. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think. I think they're just smashing it.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
Yeah, they're growing.
Alex and Amir are just.
Yeah, I love what they're doing, man.
They're great, man. They're great. I love them. Every time I see them at shows, I get excited. It's great.
They're good. They're good to like. They're easy to speak to. They're easy to get along with. Like you said, Alex. I know Amir's more the tech. He's more behind tech. Camera.
Alex was a boxing fan.
Yeah.
Alex is only a recent Thai boxing fan, and he's gone. Oh, this is great. This is way better for boxing. How do I get this out there? Do you know what I mean? And fair play to them, like, guys, because of recent, they're like in a position now where they can make it their full-time thing.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I love that. Like, I'm a massive believer of, like you said earlier, the cream rises, right? If you are passionate about what you do, you'll be undeniable. It's just time. Time's a defining factor. It might take you 10 years, might take you 2 years, might whatever. Like, it's just time. But if you're passionate, eventually you get recognised and you can see it. And I think them guys, they can see it. I think everyone can see it.
Passion and consistency.
Yeah, that's it. Through. Believe in what you believe in, and keep striving for it. Good morals, and just keep going at it, and that's it. Like, that's it. Like, I think if everyone did that, you'd have a lot more successful people, and you'd have probably less less things going to shit sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Because some people just get too greedy too quick, or some people do it for the wrong reasons, and then eventually they get found out. Do you know what I mean? And I think they're smashing it. I think they're great. I think especially you like UK Thai boxing needs people like that. 100%.
Yeah, they are pushing it hard. They're pushing the envelope hard, and it's getting more recognised. I feel like it's because the first time we went there, we went to Elite for CFS, and when I first went, I've never done Muay Thai, but first time watching it, I was like, this is absolutely.
I say it to people all the time.
I can't believe it's not like mainstream.
You're telling me that's not more entertaining than boxing? Well, let's just be honest. Most boxing fights, you're just watching it for the hype.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the fights are dog shit.
Yeah, especially at them.
And that's just the hype. And that's not. I love boxing anyway.
Especially if we're looking at like the same level. Yeah.
I think at all level, Thai boxing beats it. Amateur boxing versus amateur Thai boxing. I think most of the time, amateur Thai boxing beats
better.
it.
Yeah, 100%.
And high level Thai boxing, there's no denying.
Yeah.
Even some of them kids, man. Like some of the kids are brutal as well. It's like brutal from every stage going up.
The top
women.
UK Thai boxing has got some great talent and some great coaches, to be fair. And I think it's just we got like a good pedigree from a few years back, and I think we're lucky enough where because boxing, right? Like I don't know how much you know about, like for instance, amateur boxing trainers can't train pros.
Yeah.
It's very very organised.
Yeah.
But it's not led by passion.
Pro boxers can't train the amateur gyms, stuff like that.
No, and like you have to buy your licenses and stuff like that. So it's very organised. I have to give them that. But it's not led by passion, and because of that, sometimes some of the I'm trying to say it's about being a dick, but
you got to be a dick, man, with this one.
All right,
it's the truth.
Fucking most boxing trainers are horrendous. I'm sorry, they are. And I'm a Thai boxing coach. I boxed. I know a lot. I boxed for a couple of years solidly. And I know I've got a lot of friends that are boxing coaches, and I've boxed at a lot of boxing gyms. And a lot of the time, you're doing shitloads of burpees, shitloads of push-ups. And it's like at the end they go, "Oh yeah, shit, hit the heavy bag at the end."
Yeah, but you can say that though because you've been around it. You're a trainer. You train people for a living. Do you know what I mean?
In Thai boxing, if you go to a proper Thai boxing gym, you know about it. Because if you're not there for the right reasons, you get found out very quickly.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Where boxing gyms is just. Again, I think where people are like, again, as I said, it's organised. They've got great ranking systems, everything, like it's great. Everyone knows everyone. But a lot of people, they can just buy their licenses. They can buy their reputation. They can, through connections, they can just build their way up. You know what I mean? And you think, like, some of the best trainers don't become the best coaches because they're not in the right circle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Olympic boxing team, and that some of the best boxers don't go in there, man. It's a shame. It's such a shame. It's not even like different like back in the day, like when Fury should have been in the Olympics, but they put Price in instead.
There's a lot of a lot of corruption with the Olympic team and stuff like that. I've heard. I've heard from a lot of people that it's very
clicky, isn't it?
Very.
And if you go to a certain
if you know people, like. Yeah, and it's a shame.
I'd say it's like that now, though. Even now with certain gyms, because you see a lot of fighters at a specific gym, and they're all under one promoter. Some of them have not. They didn't have good amateur careers, stuff like that. But there'll be like 7 fighters from that gym, all signed for Eddie Hearn, or all signed for Frank Warren. And you're like, well, it's probably because the manager's got a connection with them, and it's sort of who you know at the end of the day, isn't it?
It is. I mean, don't get me wrong. Most things should be who you know, but unfortunately, most things are who you know. But I don't know.
There's a lot of money in boxing, though, isn't it? When there's money involved, man, everything just goes out the window.
Which is a shame because you think sports is you train your hardest, whether it's football, boxing, whatever. Yeah. We train our hardest, you train your hardest. And on the day, it will show who is the better team or who is the better fighter on that day. The reality is
it does need to be a blend of both.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like one championship's great, right? If you're one of the top in the UK, you'll get recognised. You've got a good opportunity to go there. You don't have to worry about selling tickets. That's your platform, right? But let's say you're on Final Combat Fight Series and you're ranked number 1 in the UK. And you're saying to, like Rory's a Pro Combat Fight Series. Rory, I want $5,000 to fight. How can you justify that when you sell like 15 tickets?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But from a promoter standpoint, you're like, hell no. How? Like, it doesn't make sense. Unless you can put him in with an opponent that can sell shitloads of tickets and make up for it.
Yeah.
It's a hard balance, right? You need to be able to... I do believe you should get paid on your skill and your worth. What do you bring to the table? Do you know what I mean? So it is a hard one. Yeah. I do get it, but I don't think it should be too I don't think it should be too far either way.
Yeah. It just needs to be a balance in the
There needs to be a balance of it. Yeah. Like, listen, I've been number 1 for for 5 years now, I deserve a decent purse. Yeah, I think you do. $5 grand probably a bit too much. Like, do you know what I mean? Or like a couple grand's good.
Have a conversation.
Have the conversation with it, like, and just But unfortunately, in boxing, it's definitely more the business standpoint. But then that is probably why. I mean, boxing it's been around for ages as well. There's a reason why it's still, you know what I mean,
at the top.
At the top.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do want to go back to when you first took over the gym and stuff like that. Yeah. Was there any pressure on you to perform or do well? Because obviously your dad's a legend and stuff like that, and he held the gym. Did you have any pressure when you first took it over?
At first, I didn't. Then, oh man, I got slated for the first time. I got slated.
Did you?
Yeah, man. I was like 19 at the time. Like, again, like I'm young, but I've been around a long time. I've fought on a lot of people's shows. I still run shows now. A lot of people that run gyms, my dad taught them, or that my dad they fought with my dad's fights. You know what I mean? So I know them. And every time I tell this story, people are like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Trust me, I heard it." Like, I used to get slated because they're like Lewis too young to be a trainer. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's never gonna be as good as his dad. Mm-hmm. I remember when Salah fought Yodson Clyde in Vegas. I was 20 at the time. I mean, Yodson was like number 1 at the time. It was always going to be a hard fight. But Salah, like one of my fighters, he just fights anyone. I love him. Like, and it was like, fuck it, what's the risk? He's the best fighter in the world. You're at number 2 in the UK. You go over there, you give a good account about yourself. If you win, fucking hell, you're the man. If you lose, well, you just fucking fought the man. Mm-hmm. Anyway, like, fucking, I remember there was a thing called Axe at the time, and I remember a few people having a few comments going, "Oh, what's Lewis doing there? He's too young to train, Salah, da da da." But then at the same time, Salah fought in the UK after that, knocked his opponent out in the first round. I think the guy was ranked number 3, and everyone thought he was going to beat Sal. And everyone was like, "Oh, Lewis did an amazing job." You're like, it's just, reality.
Reality, opinions change like that, didn't they?
Fighting is
literally
fickle. Fighting is so fickle.
It's a what have you done for me lately?
People love. No, it is for all combat. It is what you've done for me lately. Like, and like people love you when you're at the top, and then but they hate you when you're maybe not. Do you know what I mean? Like, and once you get over that, it is what it is.
Yeah, because you hear it even in boxing now with Anthony Joshua. Lose a fight, he's done. Retire. Just retire. You've lost one fight, and you've got pros, people who have fought for 10 years, 50. Carl Froch, retire. You're done. It's over for you. And then the next fight he'll win, and they'll be like, right, he needs to fight Deontay Wilder next. He's the man again, and all that.
Which is mad because Thai boxing complete opposite. Like, so you know, Haggerty beat Nongo. Prior to that, Nongo was the man. Yeah, he was on like a 10-fight win streak, knocking everyone out, and he was still doing that theoretically past his prime. Prior to that, Thailand champion, multiple times. Prior to that, that guy lost like every fight like 10 times in a row.
Nongo?
Yeah, Nongo.
Yeah.
If that was boxing, he'd be like, he's done.
Yeah.
Sexad.
In one championship?
No, this a few years back in the stadiums, yeah. Same as like another big fighter in one championship called Sexad. You know Sexad? They call him like...
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I've watched him, yeah.
Yeah, like the man who wills to no one because he just breaks people. Prior to one, downhill, losing, no good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mad.
So is it them? It must be them small gloves.
I think someone like Sexan is like just suited for them small gloves. He's like, I'm in your face. You have to like, Sexan's one of them fighters where you got to knock him out cold to get him out of your face. Doesn't matter how hard you hit him, doesn't matter how much pressure you put on him, he's just going to keep going. So for people like him, he's destined for them small gloves. But prior to the small gloves, if he couldn't out-pressure them, he was getting out-skilled, outworked. He lost again multiple fights in a row, whatever. Do you know what I mean? If that was boxing, people go, oh, no, he's done.
Yeah.
But it's hard because you can't really class that as Muay Thai, isn't it? One championship's one championship.
Well, the rule set's different. It's just modified Thai boxing. It is Thai boxing.
It's a Thai, but obviously...
Kind of like, again, I don't know how much you know about kickboxing there, or K1. There's multiple rules in K1. You can one grab, one knee, grab both, one knee. You can catch and strike. You can't catch at all. Like, there's always these little, like... It's basically like that. It's just a modified rule set of it. But yeah, fighting's fickle, mate.
Yeah, it is.
And when I started, when I started coaching, that's what I was getting. Like, good praise, bad praise, good praise, bad praise, just depending on who you are, really.
How long did it take you to sort of get out of that? For people to sort of recognise you as a coach?
I didn't. I'll be honest, I never really cared.
Yeah.
I never really cared. Like my dad had said, like, a lot of people know my dad. He impacted a lot of people's lives, especially UK type. Even without the gym, mate. Like, what most people don't know is like he was part of like the regional governing body for Thai boxing in the UK and a bunch of other like stuff like that. So a lot of people know him through that. my mum used to be like the head official for bringing Thais over for WMC. Like the whole family's been involved in it.
So your family's literally like embedded, like Muay Thai.
Yeah, exactly. That's why like I've been around. Cause that's why I've been around it my whole life. Like my whole life, I used to have like 7 Thais stay at my house, sleeping on the floor in the living room. Like Thais like standing on the toilet seat, pissing on the toilet seat because they didn't know what a toilet was at the time. Remember, this is like 15, 20 years ago. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, I've got my whole life been surrounded by it. So not just the gym, all that stuff as well. Like even now, mate, I still think I've got big boots, but I'm not trying to fill my dad's boots. I never will. I'm filling my own boots. Does that make sense? I've never like, I'm just carrying on another chapter of what he did. I'm not trying.
Your own journey.
It's funny because like, you know McGowan. Yeah. Because like, when me and McGowan first started training together, he's like, you're so different to the rest of the Minotaur lot I remember back in the day. My dad's style of teaching is completely different to mine. I'm more like I'm pure Thai boxing. My dad was very like boxing, low kick heavy. I've been Thailand more times than my dad. I've been way more different gyms than my dad. I've spent like more time with different types of trainers and stuff. So I'm like, I believe I can train anyone because I've got a good understanding of different style of Thai boxing, different body types, different people personalities and stuff like that. But very much back in the day, it was like if you train at Minotaurs, you're a strong puncher, you're a strong low kicker, you're a very aggressive style. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Not catering for anyone's needs. It's like this is the style of fighting. This is how you fight.
Yeah. So I'm very different to my dad. So I don't think I should be compared. I think the job role should be compared, and I think I'm doing a very good job. He always said to me, you're going to be better than me, you're going to be better than me. I know you are, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but when I was young, don't get me wrong, I was like, yeah, I got to live up to my dad's boots. But you're losing a battle when you do that. Yeah. It's not like I'm building up, I'm just trying to carry on the gym's legacy. Do you know what I mean?
You're like, carrying on the name.
Yeah, I'm carrying on the
philosophy.
I'm carrying on the gym. Like I cherish people all the time. Minatour Gym is not me. Minatour Gym is not my dad. Minatour Gym is Minatour Gym. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I just try and build. That's my number one priority. It's been one of the top gyms in the UK forever. Yeah. And I plan to keep it that way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like when I first started, I took over my dad, I had to build it all from scratch again. I had like 2 pro fights, which was Salah and Afan. They stayed, that they kept the name in the rankings. And then I just built up the amateur team from there, and it's been going strong ever since. Yeah. And my win ratio every year has always been mad, to be fair. Yeah. Like it's mad. I've never my win ratio is like 80%, 90%, anywhere between there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's always been good. And I'm not picky with my fights. I just believe in my lads and I train them well. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'm doing a good job. I don't think I'm anywhere near my peak. Like, I love what I do, man. I love it. And I love my lads. If you had any of my lads here right now and I went in the room, they would say how harsh I am, how much of a high standard I've got, but I do it because I fucking give a shit and I care. I don't care. I just take pride. I take pride in it. If I go in a bit too deep, like when my dad passed, it's the only thing that got me through it. Yeah. It's the only thing that got me through it. I was like, I am fucking keeping that legacy going as long as I can. And like, I live through my dad through the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's me, like paying respect to him every single day. Do you know what I mean? And that is more important to me than anyone can. I can never tell you how much important that is to me. Yeah. I cannot fucking tell you. I think the only way I really express it is when I'm training my lads. Yeah. If you actually watched me, like when I. Even ask McGowan, man. I'm brutal, man. I'm brutal with him, man. Like, but it's the passion. Like I was saying earlier. Like, I believe I'm the best trainer in the UK. Have I proved that? Fuck no. Yeah. Fuck no. No way. There is on paper people that are way better of a coach than me on paper. But if you had to go from raw passion and everything else, I kind of like a fighter, right? You ain't gonna be the best if you don't believe you're the best. I believe I'm the best coach in the UK, personally. I feel I can teach everyone. I'm adaptable. I do it for all the right reasons. I give a shit. And I'm harsh, man. I'm rally. If you're a lazy shit, I'll tell you. If you're lazy, if you don't want it, I'll tell you. I've got no agenda. Do you know what I mean? Like I tell, like ever since the gym's gone full time, I've had a few other guys from other gyms come. Like Dean originally came from Kangrang. COVID, his gym had to get closed down, and he wasn't sure where to go. And someone recommended, they're like, speak to Lewis, you'll love Lewis. I think he's what you need. And he came in the gym and was like, oh yeah, I want to fight. I went, just train for a little bit. Train here, see if you like the gym, see if you like me first. And then we get on with it. Yeah. I didn't force them to fight. I don't give a fuck if any of my lads fight. I honestly don't give a... What's it to me? What's it to me?
Yeah, don't make a difference to you.
Doesn't make a difference to me. I coach people no matter what, right? If someone wants to fight, it is nothing to do with me. If I have a personal agenda about people wanting to fight, am I doing it for me or for them? Does that make sense? So I say to all my guys, I don't give a shit if you fight. But if you do fight and you want to fight under me, you better meet my standards. If you can't meet them, you ain't going to fight for me.
Would you so like if someone was going to fight and they were training with you and you were watching them and you're just like you're not there sort of thing where you're like you are not there, would you pull them and say you're not fucking there?
I do them all the time and I tell the promoters straight up, I'm like, yeah, sorry mate, he's been a lazy fucker, I'm really sorry, but I try and pull them out like a few weeks in advance where I know the promoter can get a backup. That happened way more earlier on, but now where the gym is just rising. It's more professional. I've got so many fighters now. They all feed off each other's energy, and it's just mad. Like because of that, the ones that don't want to get found out. Yeah. And I can spot it away. I can spot it away out. Like I get guys all the time, but like, Lewis, I want to fight. Yeah, you're not good enough, mate.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah, you don't want it enough. You think you do. It sounds good. You see the Instagram photos. You see the glory. You see the post that you don't want to.
The walked reality.
Yeah. You don't see all them hard late nights.
I tell my lads, if you're not going to bed at night thinking of the hardest fight you can think of and going, fuck yeah, you don't want to fight. If you're not thinking of the hardest opponent you can think of and go, yes, I'm going to have a go at that, you don't want to fight. That's the harsh reality of it. And that's another thing as well. Like, I know a bunch of trainers that not force their guys to fight, but let's say you trained under me and you were really good. And I was like, you should fight. How do I know you're not just saying yes because you don't look like a pussy in front of me? Yeah. I don't ask any lads to fight. Yeah. They go, Lewis, it doesn't take a rocket science. I can get guys fights. Or I train fighters, right? So if someone asks me, I'm like, okay, that's off their own accord, great. And then I either say, yes, you're good enough, or no. Do you know what I mean? That's a better way of looking at it because you get way more realistic results. There's only been a few times in my coaching career where I've like to look into my fighter's eyes and gone, right, you are 4 rounds down. You are 4 rounds down. You ain't going to outskill him. How bad do you want it? And they go, well, I want it. I go, you're going to have to try and knock him out. You either go out on your shield or you accept defeat. And there's nothing worse than you see a guy going, you don't want it. You think, fuck it, like, it's heartbreaking. Where most of the time I'm like, you want it? And they go, fuck yeah. Go on then, go. And you see him like, oh, like, even if it's halfway through the fight, I'm like, it's close. It's close. You have to pull something out of the bag. Not even like a knockout or a stoppage. You've got to show you want it more, the grind. Like one of my last lads who just fought the weekend, Archie, like he's only been in it for 2 years. He's the prime example of someone who's just hungry. And I'm just like, he's like, Lewis, my knee's fucked. I'm like, do you care? He's like, nope. I'm like, sweet, don't fucking mention it again then.
Yeah.
Don't mention it again then. I was like, until it fucking pops off, get on with it.
Yeah. But they need that though, because it's like they're going to their coach
I can't teach that mentality.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That's either in you or not. And that's my standard. I want that standard. I want them guys that are just willing to.
And people got that.
Yeah, but you got to think as well. They're at their most vulnerable. They look into their coach and say, I'm done. They don't want their coach going, oh, if you're done, do you know what? Let's stop. Where they need someone to go, pull your fucking socks up and let's go. Yeah. Let's fucking go. It's time. This is the time. Like push now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's make or break.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse when you see him break before that even fucking happens.
Yeah.
They have the first round, they go, oh, this is tough, I don't know if I want it. Fucking hell, like, it's heartbreaking.
Is there no amount of sparring and training you can do to sort of overcome that thing, or does it happen like under the lights, under the...
I
feel like it's the pressure of everything else, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got some
crowd,
guys...
the lights, the fucking...
I've got some guys in my gym, where I'm like, fucking hell, like, they are monsters in the gym. They're giving they're amateurs theoretically, and they're giving some of my pros like a fucking hard spar. And they go in the ring and they just melt. That's why it's so important to build people up properly though, because you don't want to, like, because I've got some lads, I'm like, you are definitely in the gym, more than good enough to fight A-class Thai boxing. But you've had no fights yet. You can't teach experience, right? So you put them in the in-class, the amateur stuff, see how they do, and then you can, depending how good you are, you'll rise quicker than others, right? But you can imagine if I based it pure on the gym, and then they go in there and like suddenly you go, oh shit, they ain't got the personality for it, and they just crumble and get hurt.
It's because you've got the confidence in the gym as well, same people,
yeah, well, the pressure, it's not the same, man. The pressure's not the same. Like, we're in the gym, it's your comfort zone, you're all padded up, like you know, but all your teammates, no one's there trying to hurt you. You're not trying to perform for this one small moment in front of a crowd of 500, 1,000, 2,000 people, whatever it is. And also, you're not sparring a guy who's prepared to fight you for the last 6-8 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like,
he's coming to fuck you up.
But you,
yeah,
but like you, like not just around you, like he knows he's trying to fuck you up in 8 weeks' time. Most people can't handle that pressure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like some random fucking karate tournament where you tell them to go, well, I wonder who I get. No, me and you got a poster for the last 6 weeks. I'll be looking at your face every day, like, and I think that's truly what people can't. And you know, and I say this to my lads in the gym. The gym is physical 80% of the time, 20% mental. You got to put that physical work in the gym. Don't get me wrong, it's obviously mental as well, but more physical. You got to put that physical work in the gym. As soon as you fight, it's a complete flip. 80% mental, 20% physical. You got to be able to perform in that moment and adapt in that moment. And the only thing that does that is mindset, not physical. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to physically push yourself in the gym, physically push yourself. Don't get me wrong, it's obviously powered through your mental capacity, but you got people surrounded you to do that. They've got me going, no, keep fucking pushing. Stop being a lazy fucker. Get on with it. Come on, stop stopping at 70 kicks. Start again. Make you do 100. Like, just, do you know what I mean? You ain't got that in the ring. So that's why, like, it's complete flip side. That's why you can have these great physical talents in the gym, but in the ring, it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
I know so many average fighters that are amazing fighters because they can just adapt and listen to their corner in the ring. Do you know what I mean? And like that, and that's the difference. And unfortunately, you don't know that until you fight. But that's why it's important to build the levels up. But if you set that standard from the get go, like I've got loads of guys. I'm like, for instance, if I've got some lads who go, oh, like, Lewis, I want to fight. I'm like, no, you're not ready yet, and I just walk away. If they're like, oh, fuck that then, and they give up. We didn't want it in the first place.
Yeah.
If straight away like, I'm gonna prove it to Lewis, I'm gonna prove it. Okay, now you got my attention. Do you know what I mean? You got to play a little bit of psychological warfare with it. You have to understand a bit, like, or like I'll break him down a bit. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That kick was shit, and you know it. You fucking know it. Look me in the eyes and tell me that was a good kick. And they're like, I'm like, you tell me what's wrong with it. And then they tell me what's wrong with it. I'm like, so you do know what's wrong with it. So you chose not to do it right then. They're like, You see what I mean? It's that, like, where's your standards? You know what I mean? Where the fuck's your standards? Mine's up here. You want to fight for me, you got to go up there.
I'm coming to the gym.
I'll run for a brick wall for this man. I'd run for a brick wall for this man.
I'm just sitting in. I'm like,
sorry, man.
I can do it.
I'll run for a brick wall for this man right now.
The thing is, like, I'm the same level whether you're fighting Shimpan or you're fighting A-class. It's irrelevant to me. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
Because your personal fight journey or your personal Thai boxing journey is irrelevant to me. I'm just here to help. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you were coming to me and go, Lewis, I just want to get you to Thai boxing. Well, fuck, I'm going to make you the best Thai boxer I can make you. Lewis, I want to be fucking world champion. Well, I'm going to try and get you world champion as best I can. Your goals are irrelevant to me apart from me helping them goals.
Yeah.
I should have no personal agenda in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of coaches blur, because some coaches, they'll just push fighters out loads every week or whatever because they want the gym to look like they're really busy. Like, you can't say your gym's doing really well if, unfortunately, your fighters are losing more than winning.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, if they're losing under good fights, then it is what it is, it happens, right? But if they're getting starched weekend after weekend, well, there's something going wrong there in the gym. Do you know what I mean? Where, like, I can tell you 99% of the time, if you see a Minotaur fighter fighting, it's because he fucking deserves it. He deserves it. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean they're the finished article. You're never going to be a finished article. But none of my fighters are going to quit on the stall.
Yeah.
Unless I do it because I'm trying to reserve them for later on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'll never see one of my fighters just give up for no reason. But it's just the standard, right?
Yeah. And I do want to go back to when you were talking about your dad.
Sorry, man, I ran like a
No, it was good.
I got yoked, man.
I could go.
I was looking at this man. I was like, when's the next CFS show?
This is me sober. When I'm drunk, I'm on it. I'm like, let's go. I'm drunk. I'm like, let's go. It's bad. It's so bad.
I do want to go back to when you're talking about your dad and his passing. You don't have to talk about anything you don't want to talk about. But obviously you've spoken so highly of him and you sound like you had a really good relationship. What was that actual period in your life like?
So this is the weird thing, right? I have a well-weird relationship with my dad. Well-weird. Like, I could talk about it now. Like, if you had this podcast a year ago, I'd probably been a crying mess here.
Yeah.
This is horrible. But, so my dad, my dad, when I was younger, he didn't actually, don't get me wrong, obviously he trained me, obviously. But he didn't push me as much as I wanted. I never understood why. He would always spend more time with his his like, his champions or his A-class fighters or the rising, the ad. Like, I remember when I was training, I was 8 years old. There's no other kids there. I'm sparring with the adults. I'm getting involved with the adults. Like, but obviously I can't hold pads to them, so I'm waiting around. Like, I don't know. Like, I felt like he never gave me 100%, and that might be the main reason why I'm very passionate and very driven now, because I always feel like I wanted more from him. It's not till I got older, my dad was like, listen, I never actually really wanted you to fight. Which weirdly, completely fucking did the opposite. I wanted to fight more. I wanted to fight more because I wanted to prove that I was hungry enough and I was doing it. And I truly feel like, and before he passed, I actually spoke to him about this. I said to him, I was like, I feel like you never gave me the opportunities that I felt like I deserved because I felt like you didn't push me enough. And he goes, yes, you're right. I didn't push you enough because I didn't want you to fight. I think as a trainer's son, you either go, right, I want to live through my son and get him fighting loads, or you're like, I don't know if I want him to fight.
Yeah, how hard it is, how bad it can be. Yeah.
Where I was like, I loved training anyway. I loved training more than fighting. I only liked to fight when I wanted to compete and see how well I could do. But because I was always training, I was always like ready to. That's why I always took them last minute fights. And so I always feel like I never got enough from my dad personally. But I also think that's why I'm a good coach, because I'm very adaptable. Because in my mindset, I'm like, if you're not giving me what I want, I'm going to give myself what I want. I'll fucking teach myself. I'll taught myself how to clinch. I taught myself different styles of Thai boxing. I would sit there. Even to this day, mate, I fucking still watch Thai boxing fights. I still study. I still watch it. Whenever I'd go Thailand, I'd be just like, if I was training, I'm trying to understand what they're doing to me. If I'm watching from the corner, I'm trying to understand. Do you know what I mean? It's because I feel like him not giving me everything that I wanted created a mindset for me to hunt that what I wanted. If I want to get better at learning how to be a knee fighter, I'm going to fucking study that and try it and do trial and error. Same with everything else. You know what I mean? So, it made sense when I got older. I was like, yeah, Lewis, I didn't push you as much as I wanted because I didn't want you to do it. So it all made sense. And when he first told me that, I thought, you arsehole. You arsehole. But in the position I'm in now, I thank him for it because it made me a way better coach.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
he turned you to the man you are.
Yeah. So, like the positive from it is my dad made a fucking good coach out of me because of that. Because he forced me, again, similar to my fighters, right? How much do you want it? Well, I wanted it fucking loads. So I'm going to understand it and teach myself as much as I can. And by doing that, it made me, I could translate into my coaching. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah, don't get me wrong. And like, I'm very harsh on my fighters because my dad was harsh on my fighters. Like, you ask anyone who fought under my dad, he was harsh, mate. Harsh. Like, he would fucking beat you to the ground. He would break you mentally. He would if you weren't performing the way he knew you could, you'd get aggravated. And I adapt that from him. I tell my fighters all the time, like, when I'm being brutal and I'm being horrible, I have to remind them, like, listen, this is Coach Lewis. This isn't Lewis, your friend Lewis. Because all the guys at my gym, they're my mates. But I'm like, when I'm in that zone, it's just Coach Lewis. Don't take it personally, because Coach Lewis is fucking horrible. Yeah. He's fucking horrible, but he needs
You're creating warriors.
He needs to be like that.
Yeah.
He needs to be like that because...
Yeah, you're not going in there to play table
You will never
tennis.
be able to push yourself more than
as well. Like, it's a brutal sport. Do you know what I mean? You're going in there to hurt each other.
Yeah.
People have died in the ring. Like, it's not. You're not going in there to do badminton. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, like Storm Jim had that saying. It's like this is not ballet. This is fighting.
No. Like one lazy mistake and you could be done. Do you know what I mean? And that's the harsh reality of it. But so that's why I say my relationship with my dad was weird, because like I had a great relationship with him. Like, I didn't really have a proper relationship with my dad till I was about 16, 17. My dad was like a massive workaholic. I never really saw him at weekends because at Thai boxing shows. And that's why I ended up just always going to Thai boxing shows. I was always a bucket boy. At shows because I think I wanted to spend time with him. But also I love Thai boxing as well. But I learned a lot from him, from the good things he did, but also I feel like the bad things he did, or the things I wanted from him. Do you know what I mean? So, even from advice sometimes, like I'd ask for advice and sometimes he wouldn't give it to me, and I'm like, why? And maybe because he didn't want me to do it, but I'm very much like, if I'm going to do something, I'll bet on myself. I won't do anything if I can't do it right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would, if you, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think. If it was like, if you challenged me to something and I didn't think I could win, I'd be like, nah. So if I'm gonna do it,
you're 100%.
Yeah, I'm 150 fucking percent. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm gonna train you, it's 150 fucking percent. Or if I'm gonna go fight in Thailand and I'm gonna train myself, it's gonna be 100%. But it still sucks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the last few fights when I fought in Thailand, I didn't even want him to like train me. I just wanted him to watch and like give me advice, and he just wouldn't even do that. So I ended up just training myself for my last few fights in Thailand. And even though I won them, I felt like that. I was missing something.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs that one person to fucking, when you're beating yourself down, you need someone to fucking pick you up and push you to go, no, you can keep going. Do you know what I mean? The mind will always break before the body. It's really hard to fucking remind yourself that by yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
And that's the main reason I went, you know what, stop this, fuck this. Yeah. And again, I always loved training more than fighting anyway. But I felt like I couldn't give enough. And that again, go back to like, that's why I had a weird relationship with my dad, because I loved him and I learned so much from him. But from a personal level, I just wish he gave me a bit more. But then again, maybe I wouldn't be coaching if he did.
That's what I mean. You can look at it in hindsight. You can look at it two ways.
Yeah. If he pushed me to be a fighter,
you might still be fighting now.
When he gave me the ultimatum whether to take over the gym, I probably wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah. Just like to take this time to shout out our sponsors at Prime MMA. If you're looking to enhance your MMA skills and learn by one of the best coaches around, head over to Prime MMA now. It's as easy as clicking the link in their bio, selecting your class, selecting your purchase type, putting your email in, and then purchasing. With brilliant MMA and boxing fighters coming out of Prime, it's really the best time to start your MMA journey now. Head over to Prime MMA and let your mixed martial arts journey begin.
Do you know what I mean?
But what was that like period in your life like after he just passed away? I know you said you turned to the gym and
I was very lucky in the sense of, this is a story most people don't know. So my dad was ill with myeloma cancer. He had bone cancer. He had like multiple like chemo for it, and he was doing this new treatment for it. And it was going really well, but then he got ill. It was what's it, December now? It was like this time, around about this time, a few years ago, like October time. So, you know, people getting cold, getting ill. Anyway, he ended up going to hospital. Funny enough, the whole year he was like, Lewis, I'm going to make it this year, I'm going to make it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Stop being negative. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You know, you always think your parents are invincible. And he was like, no. Before he went to hospital, I found the unit I'm in now. And I had to show him. I was like, Dad, I found it. I think I found the fucking place. And he walked in and he goes, this is fucking perfect. How have you found this? So he was really buzzing for it. He was happy and all that. Anyway, honestly, clear as day, I'm nailing that fucking notice board outside the new gym, because you have to when you do change use, you have to let people know a few weeks in advance. As soon as I fucking nail that last nail in through, I get a fucking call from my mum. We've got to go to the hospital. I'm like, what? She goes, we've got to pull the plug in your dad. I was like, what? We've got to pull the plug in your dad. I was like, no, fuck right off. I was like, no, like, fuck right off. So I've just fucking basically got the confirmation that this gym's going to go ahead. And it's like and then literally at that bang moment, it's like, boom, he's gone. And we have to go to the hospital and pull his life support out. And I'm there like, fuck, like I was in a fucking mess, mate, absolute complete mess. But the only thing that got me through it was in my head, it was like, I'm going to fucking put all my heart and soul into this gym to make him proud. That, you know what I mean? Like,
that one chap that ended, but a new chap.
I had like a 1 or 2 bad weeks where like I'm like fucking drunk, pass out. That's another thing a lot of people don't realise is that I always knew my dad was loved. I didn't know my dad was loved that much. One day I woke up and I had like 200 messages on my phone. It was only like maybe 1 or 2 days after he passed, from Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, you name it, telling me how much of a great man my dad was, and I'm there like fucking overwhelmed. And I'm just like, what the fuck, like. So I'm like passed out by 9 a.m. in the morning, like, you know what I mean? But a couple of weeks after that, the planning got approved, and then it was like fucking. Honestly, I was in that gym all day, all night. Me and my fucking fiance, all my lads from the gym, painting, fucking putting new lights in, ripping down walls, shoveling rubble, like you name it. It was the only. And then once it was done, I was like, if you go into my gym now, it's big painting of my dad, like bang in the middle of the gym, and like once that was up, I was like, that's it, this is for you, this is for you. And if I did not have that gym, I reckon I'd have been a fucking mess for probably still now.
Yeah.
Even now, like you get them low moments. But then it reminds me of where I'm like, no. Like I know for a fuck. Like people say to me, like, Lewis, you know so well, your dad be proud. And I take massive like pride going, I know.
Yeah.
I know for a flying fucking fact my dad would be proud of me. I know for a fact my dad would not think the gym would be as successful as it is now in this current state, how quickly it's been done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So fuck, I forgot the question.
No, you basically you nailed it.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, so that was it. That was so when he passed, the fighters, the gym, that fucking helped me loads, man.
Yeah.
Loads. And I can fully put my hand on my heart and go, I was put on this earth to coach people Thai boxing. And I've really fucking thought about it, and it sounds fucking cliche. It sounds like something out of a fucking movie. But I've had a lot of fucking nights where I'm sitting there low, but also like at my highest height. And I'm thinking, what the fuck, what else would I be doing right now? And there's nothing else I'd be doing. No fucking way. No way. And the reason why I say that is because it's all because of him. It's all because of him. If he never done what he did, if he never started something back in the day, if he never gave me the opportunity to take over the gym, if he never raised me the way he did, if he never did the conflicts the way he did, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I got through that fucking period, because it was fucking horrible, mate. I have to admit, I don't know if you ever lost anyone close to you, but there's a difference between losing. I mean, you have to like pull the plug. It's fucking horrible, mate. It's horrible.
But like you said, it's weird. It's like, because when our granddad passed away, I was stuck and my car battery died. Car battery died. My girlfriend was literally walking to get in the car battery died. As soon as she walked in, 5 minutes later, granddad's passed away. He's picking me up, trying to get it out, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? But it is like one chapter goes and something like a new one sort of starts.
I'm a massive believer of like, there's a silver lining, and there's good and bad of everything, right? It is always a fucking choice. It's always a choice. Like I could have gone, fuck this, just plummeted everything, but I was like, you know what, nah, like that's not what they want. That's what they want. I feel like if you have a moral responsibility to do well, or you have a moral responsibility to achieve something, you should fucking do it. And if you don't, you're a fucking idiot.
I just feel like you have to grow.
Yeah. Like,
regardless what happens, it's gonna beat you
I
down.
took my dad's passing as I try to turn it into a positive as much as I can. And it was, I'm going to make sure I fucking leave a legacy behind that is undeniable. Like, undeniable. I could, and this is what I tell my lads, like, I'm not part of any government, like, no association. I go to everyone's, I support everyone's Thai boxing show. No politics, no nothing. I don't cheat my way into anything. If I do this long enough and my lads do well enough, I will become undeniable. And people can't say shit to that. People can't say shit. You're either the fucking thing you're saying you are, or you're not.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but I'm almost there. And people that know me know I'm going to do it. And I say it from a really respectful point, and it's not a cockiness. I will get there, without a fucking doubt. Without a fucking doubt. And it's all because of him. It's all because of him. And yeah, man, it's been a fucking mad few years. Mad few years, especially last two. Last 2 years been fucking mad. And I love it, mate. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Like
that's your journey, though, man.
Yeah.
But it's mad because, like, I say, like, COVID is the best thing that happened to me, right? So I was like, when I was younger, I was like, if I want to earn money, I've got to be in an office. I have to have that office job. That was my mentality. My dad was in construction. He was like one of the most paid contract managers in London. Fucking proper businessman, doing that in the week, training fighters at the weekends, or going to shows, whatever. So, you know, you're like, I think it's the same. I had the same mentality. And when COVID hit, they sacked everyone in my department apart from me, because I was good at my job, very good at my job. And I'm there working like a fucking dog, and I'm working like a dog, and obviously the gym's closed, and I've gone, oh my God, I'm fucking miserable. I'm like, doing my class 3 times a week masked how unhappy I was working in London. Literally just training fighters, running for the train every day, like just doing that masked how unhappy I was working in a corporate company. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be a 40-year-old man. I'm going to fucking regret this. I have a very successful gym part-time. Can you imagine what if I did full-time? And then I just remember literally one day, I I was up all night talking to my fiance about it, and I literally next day woke up, drove to my dad's house, and I went, Dad, I've got to tell you something. He goes, what? He goes, I'm quitting my job. He goes, what? I goes, yeah. I went, I'm going to fucking take the gym full time, and I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to make it the fucking best gym in the UK. And he goes, too fucking right, you do that.
Yeah.
I was shitting myself. I thought he was going to be like, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Nah, man, he was so happy. He's like, Lewis, do what I fucking didn't do. He goes, because that's another thing as well, like, I hadn't told a lot of people. When my dad first got ill, he fucking, because his hospital was right outside Euston, when I used to go see him every morning before I went to work. And he broke down crying, was like, fucked it. He's like, completely fucked it. I worked my life away for nothing. He goes, I could have spent more time with you guys. I could have fucking given more to what I loved, which was Thai boxing. And he goes, Lewis, when you find an out, fucking take it. And that was my out. That was like my big epiphany out. I was like, I need to fucking take this. So once I got the approval from him, and I that's how supportive he was for me, I just went fucking full guns at it. Do you know what I mean? So like, his support, COVID, do you know what I mean? Like, best thing ever fucking happened to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been a fucking mad.
Yeah, it's mad COVID,
mad,
isn't it? COVID is a wake up call, like you said, wake up call for some, and then for
like
others.
and that's another thing as well. Like outside of the gym and the fuck all the rankings, fuck all the belts, fuck all that stuff. That stuff come and goes. We said fighting's fickle, right? There's always gonna be a new UK number one. There's always gonna be a new world champion. There's always gonna be a new British champion. I say to my guys all the time, like, see us all right now. We're gonna be 70 years old somewhere talking about this shit. How much we fucking, all the journeys we went through, all the support we went through, all the fucking, do you know what I mean? Like that's more important than anything. And I take massive pride. I've got some guys in my gym there, and without going too deep with it, they came to me broken. And the gym support, maybe me being a bit harsh and brutal, is like completely changed their life around. And that's more important to me than anything.
Yeah.
That gym community, and a byproduct of that is you attract genuine people, and a byproduct of that is that people give you their all, and a byproduct of that is if they do fight for you, you get fucking good results. You get, do you know what I mean? It's like that's what I was saying about the passion earlier, right? I do this purely out of fucking passion, and no one can say anything otherwise. I don't think anyone's more passionate than me. And it fucking shows, man. Like, it's mad. I love it. And when I feel it, and you can fucking feel it in the gym, you feel it in the corner, you feel it in the changing rooms, I fucking love it.
That's what everyone says about you as well. When they see the videos, they're like, he's one of the most passionate coaches.
Mate,
and when you're there, you're going crazy. You're like,
I love it. It's not shouting out of it's not shouting out of just like recklessness. It's like fucking, and then I feel it. I'm like, it's just pure passion. And I fucking love it. I feed off it. And I love it when my guys look at me like, yeah, I can feel your passion. Let's fucking go. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go.
But then it feeds onto the fighters. Because then, like, I think I remember when McGowan had that cut and he's walking back to the corner and you're going, yeah, and he wipes it. And
like, you fucking love
it.
Yes.
And then he's sitting back down, and then you get the game plan.
Oh man, it's great. That Sandro fight was fun.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. The teep was like, he was just teeping.
That was one of them ones. That was one of them ones where like everything we did in camp was just perfect, and like McGowan's headspace was just fucking perfect for it. I fucking love Dan. Dan's like one of my best mates. I fucking love him, and like that's another thing as well, right? These are guys saying like these are my best mates. Like, so when they do well, I fucking it just feeds me so much. Like that's where I get my fucking energy from. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and even like the guys like. Even like it's on the lower level where someone's like, Lewis, I'm not depressed anymore. I'm like, fucking too right, you ain't depressed. Like, do you know what I mean? Too fucking ain't right.
Yeah.
I love that shit. Like, and to go back to my dad, 2 Christmases ago, I had a random call with some random dude. Don't know, he got my number, probably off the gym website. So I called him, Lewis, you don't know me, but I was really good friends with your dad. Your dad taught me when I was like 16 years old. I had a really troubled past. He used to call me every Christmas because he knew I was alone.
Fucking
and I think, fuck it. I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah. Your dad's just a real one, man.
But that's what I mean. That same shit I can do in my gym.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's when I fucking, like, I'll go to shows or I'll walk down the town centre and I get a random mum, oh, you've changed my boy's life. He's so much more confident now. Or he was depressed. He's not anymore. Like, fucking love that shit. That's more, that I get more buzz off that than, like,
it's
guys winning fights. It's just like that environment, man. It's just environment. It's not me. It's not me helping people. It's me setting the standard for the environment that's helping people. It ain't me personally. Yeah. Lewis Taylor isn't helping Joe. Minotaur Gym is helping Joe. Do you know what I mean? It ain't just me. Like I don't think
the foundation you set.
Yeah.
You built.
Yeah. My dad was the same, and I think that's why so many people speak highly of my dad, and I think I'll be the same when I'm all done with this. I think he'll be the same.
Yeah.
Like, I have to admit, the last few years I've had so much love, and it's great, and I get a lot of love not because I'm a good coach. I've got a lot of love because I think people know I'm a real coach. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, passion's undeniable.
It's because real people are hard to come by.
Real, man.
That's it. That's fucking
but
it.
We're in a world at the minute where everything's fake. Everyone's so fake reactions, so fake people living in images, this, that, but buying stuff they don't even want.
Me and McGowan have talked about this.
Yeah. And the world needs more real people.
Yeah.
And it needs more.
But it's so easy to look real nowadays. Even as trainers, like you see guys doing this fancy ass pad work, or you see these people hyping up this fake fucking corner advice, and you're like, if you're real, you can feel it and you can see it.
But like you said, people get found out.
Time is undeniable, and with enough time, you get found out. Do you know what I mean? Like you get found out, like and it's gonna say like me and Dan have talked about it, and like it's so, and like you said, it's so easy to get fucking recognised or get labelled something that you want to get labelled as. But like again, what are you doing it for? Do you know what I mean? Like I've got a very successful gym, not because I want a successful gym, just because I fucking love Thai boxing. I love Thai boxing, and you do it long enough, you attract the same sort of people, and you do it long enough, them same people will just feed off your energy, and it just grows. Do you know what I mean?
When you got a community like that, and someone comes there, you feel like it's family.
Yeah,
you come into an environment, you're like, shit, I'll ride for these boys.
Yeah, mate, it's mad. Like I've got guys that are like, like they're like, I'm trying to be able to say it without for them knowing who they are or their partners knowing. They're like, I don't know, like my girlfriend wants to go out this weekend, but nah, fuck that, I'm gonna help corner you. Like I'm gonna tell her I'm doing something, I'm working late. Like, you know what I mean? I love it, man. Like I have to admit, my guys are good. Like they were like, I've had a few like weird weeks with my mum, and like if I need any help, boom, they're there. It's like I don't even fucking ask. It's great, man. But it's also vice versa. You know what I mean? It's great. I love it, man. I love it.
It's good to have people like that in your life, though. People need more of that. That's what you want to be surrounded by.
But it's just the environment. Like it could be a gym. It could be like in the gym. It could be your work office. It could be whatever. Like it's just your environment, man. Like I used to work in the office. It was just full of fake ass people. I used to hate it. Hating them, but when you come out get drinks after work, I'm like, why the fuck I want to spend more time with you? Why the fuck? I'm like, you guys are trying to avoid not going home to your wife and kids. Why the fuck do I want to spend time with people like that? You don't even like the life that you've got. Like you're just trying to avoid it. Why?
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, but you fall into that trap, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, like,
but they want. But it's. I don't want to get fucking like be like a kook, like Andrew Tate on this shit. But it's like they want you to be like that. They want more people like that.
Honestly, I was the weirdo. I've been with Alice, my fiance, for 15 years, and I was the weirdo because I was in a long-term relationship. They're like, so literally, I remember my first Christmas party. They're like, all right, so what girl are you gonna take home? I'm like, what? No, I got a partner. They're like, what? Yeah, I got a partner. They're like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, no, man, this is weird. And then my boss like, you're weird, man. And walked around like, hold on. So you're going to happy to cheat on your wife and kids at home just because you're miserable at home? Like, you're just trying to marsh it. I don't get it.
And I'm the weirdo.
Yeah. I'm in a happy relationship, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you? You're trying to corrupt me.
Yeah, people like that with drinking. Obviously, I don't drink. And people are like, but there's such a big drinking culture in England. It's like, they're like, you don't drink.
You're a weirdo.
What? Yeah, what?
Yeah.
What? Why didn't you not drink? Well, mate, was you an alcoholic or something? No, I just don't want to drink.
Yeah.
I just don't want to drink.
I was out Saturday and I went drinking, and my mate's like, "Oh no, you're gonna have a drink though, ain't you?" I'm like, "Nah." Hour later, oh yeah.
But you got to remember that.
We're gonna drink,
but understand the psychology of it. The reason why they're doing that is because they don't like the fact you can enjoy yourself without it.
Yes. I don't have to alter myself right now.
They're pushing on you to cheat on your wife because they don't love their wife.
Yeah, but I realise...
You get what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, I realise it's just an escape.
It's like I said to you, if you don't like the truth, it's because you know it's fucking true.
No, like me. Sometimes with chocolate and stuff like that, like I know I'm sinning. If I'm ordering a cookie dough, I know I'm sinning. I try to drag the boy down with me. You're not getting one. Why? No, come on. Because I know
It's funny because it is on the low level like that, but it's the same.
I feel like strip all the bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I teach like this. I'm like, strip all the bullshit. You know you meant to step when you punch, so why fucking didn't you? Because all you want to do is hit that fucking pad as hard as you can. So if that's the case, don't tell me all you care about is technique. You dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Don't tell me you're here. You want to get your technique better, but all you're thinking about is whacking pads as hard as you can. Don't tell me that shit. Do you know what I mean? Strip all the bull. Honestly, if most people can just think about strip all the bullshit, strip all the ego,
Stop lying to yourself.
get rid of all the fluff, and you'll see and you'll find that most people can find their own fucking answers to life if they just strip the bullshit. I say this all the time as well. Like when you're younger, right? You're a kid, right? I mean, you must have nephews or whatever. Like, why? All they do is ask fucking why. But as an adult, you do the complete opposite, and then everyone wonders why you don't know what you're doing it shit for.
Yeah.
Just as an adult, if something's happening to you, or you don't like it, or you do like it, whatever it doesn't matter what it is, ask why, and you find the real fucking answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why do I do Thai boxing? I love Thai boxing. Why do I love Thai boxing? Because I love what the sports does with people. Why do I do that? Because I love that environment. Do you see what I mean?
We don't ask enough whys though.
No, we don't.
We get because we feel like
I don't know,
you go back to kids and you think, oh, kids should be asking why. As an adult, you can.
You get told what to fucking do and you expect to get on with it.
Yeah. Or you look, it's embarrassing.
No,
I look dumb. I look silly.
but when you do,
why?
But again, go back to that. Why do you feel like that?
Yeah,
because your ego.
Yeah, it is.
You're too embarrassed. Fuck all that shit off.
But even sometimes in like certain workplaces, man, you start asking why. They're like, doesn't matter why. Do it. I'm telling you to do it. So do it.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
But 1 minute, to me, this ain't making no sense. So like, why? And then they're like, if you don't want to do it, fuck off. So it's sort of like, it goes back to like, it's sort of programming.
Yeah, no, it is programming.
It is. It is programming.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mad.
If you start stripping back the layers, it's crazy.
It's mad.
It's crazy.
What's it been like training Dan? And being around that, obviously he's had a mental career as well. Like
I was a fan of Dan before I even started training him. Even now, like I don't even like the words. I don't even like the fact that I train him. I don't like it.
Yeah,
because I'm a fan of Daniel McGowan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've always been a fan.
Yeah,
I'm only a couple years older than him. I remember watching him fight and thinking, but I remember being in my office watching him fight in Thailand. I'll be there on my 3D software, like watching him in the corner while he's in Thailand. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't even like the fact I say I train him. Like. But he's my favourite person to train. My favourite person to train. The reason why I love training him as well is because he's got no ego. He's hit some of the most pinnacle moments you can in the sport of Thai boxing, and he's still like a sponge. Most people get ignorant or defiant or wherever it is. But he's like, nah, and I think that's why we feed off each other. Like, do you know how me and Dan met?
No.
So my last few fights in Thailand, I was like, I need to find a trainer. And I tried to find a few people and it just didn't work out. Again, I've got that expectation from when my dad teaches and also the way I teach. Like no one could meet my standards. So I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to get good sparring partners. So I was just trying to like scout like anyone within like an hour radius of sparring, and Dan was the best person around by miles. So I just messaged him saying, look, I'm fighting in Thailand again. I want to can we get some sparring in? And basically just became really good mates from sparring, just kicking the shit out of each other at fucking 5 a.m. on a Saturday every week. Yeah. And just by that, he understood my philosophies of training, obviously, like, and I think we got very, very, very similar. We're very similar people in that sense. And then that's literally how it came about. Like, he came back from Singapore from Evolve, and was like, would you be my trainer? And I was like, mate, 100%. I went, but before you do anything, I was like, just train me for a month, see how we get on. I knew he'd love training with me, but like, do you know what I mean? And that was it. Like, never turn back.
Yeah,
love it, man. I honestly, like, he's one of my favorite people, man. I love it because he's a real one. Yeah, simple as that. Yeah. He's a real one. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, you know, he doesn't fluff himself up. He doesn't chat shit, and I think that's what he appreciates of me. You know, when I'm saying to him, like, stop being lazy fucker, do your 500 knees, he's like, okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great. And he just, you know, I give him 100%. He gives me 100%. I don't do it for any other reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think ever since his original trainer died, I think that's what he struggled to find.
Yeah.
Even I remember that. I mean, when his original trainer died, like, it's hard, man, because his original trainer was like my dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I get it, like, that's someone he looked up to. I had someone I looked up to, so I could understand, I could relate. He messaged me shortly after my dad passed, and I think he would have messaged me sooner, but I think he was like a bit like, I don't know. But again, I believe in fate. I think shit like that happens like fate.
Yeah.
Because he was obviously trapped to Leeds all the time and that, and it was obviously inconvenient and it's hard. And
where's he training? At Bad Company?
He was training at Bad Company before he went to Singapore, and he was out in Singapore, and I don't think things worked out there. Like, do you know what I mean? And then he came back and was like, wanted to set up his own thing. But obviously, like I said to you earlier, everyone needs a coach. And then I think I was the first one that came to his head, and then I don't think he's ever turned back since. And I truly believe, I think Daniel McGowan in the right mind, like, but people forget, like, he's coming off. He says 3 years. It was almost 4 years of a hand injury. Bad.
Yeah.
And also, like, you're at a period in your life where you're like, you know, you go from young 20s to later 20s. That's a massive fucking difference. There's few moments in your life where it might only be a couple of years, but it's a big difference. I truly think Dan McGowan, training the way he is now and the way he's set in his life now, I think he beats anyone.
Scary man.
Like the Sandro one. Anyone who fights that Dan McGowan, you ain't beating him.
Yeah.
I don't anyone between 57 and 59, you're not beating him.
Because I have seen like some not questions online, but I think he even said after his fight, because obviously he had the Mario Alvarez, and then who was the French guy?
I can't say this because it wasn't nothing to do with me. But there were some fights Dan was going to fucking fight before he even met me.
Yeah.
That I'm like, you're a fucking nutcase, mate.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've been hearing Roberto was telling us before, because like before Haggerty like blew up, he was in the crowd and he was like around Roberto, and Dan McGowan was fighting. He was in the crowd. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck Dan McGowan up. Like, I want to fight Dan McGowan. Like, Colin, he wants Dan McGowan.
Yeah. You can speak to Dan about that one.
That's a story for Dan McGowan.
But, yeah, like, it's mad because like when he came, he goes, right, Lewis. So these are the fights I've already lined up prior to you. And I'm thinking, you're a fucking madman.
Yeah.
But that's sort of mentality he is, and
he just needed time to get back to where he was, because I've taken that long time off and not being
Mario was always going to be a hard first fight back. We knew that, and to be fair, mate, he was doing fucking great before it.
Yeah.
Unless you fought before, it's hard to understand. But if you haven't fought for a long time, you're naturally a little bit more tense. Your breathing goes a little bit, and also you're just eager to perform. And sometimes eager to perform isn't the same as wanting to win.
You're not flowy, yeah.
Not flowy.
Yeah.
So even though he looked fucking great in it, it's just a little bit tense.
Was there not a conditioning aspect into training, but a conditioning aspect in the sense of, like being able to take shots?
No. So I don't think that is ever the case with McGowan or any of my fighters, because every single fighter of mine, especially the high level ones, because you can find footage or they're fighters.
Yeah.
I go, this is how you're going to win, and this is how you're going to lose. So you know how you're going to lose. And unfortunately, I'm always right if I do lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
That's kind of weird. That's like seeing your own fate, your own destiny. Like, if I lose, it's going to be like this. But you know your destiny's there.
No one's invincible.
Yeah.
How are you meant to prepare for something that you're ignorant to? Do you know what I mean? Someone's a big... Like, I said, like Sandro. I was like, the only way Sandro beats you, Dan, is if you let his combinations go. He's a big puncher. He's a strong, stocky guy. Do you know what I mean? And, like, that's why every time Dan got trapped against the ropes, why do you think he moved off? He was smart about it. Or he used his teeth to set up everything. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it was like I just said to Dan, I mean, the only way he beats you is if he pins you against the ropes and knees you.
Yeah.
But and that was what happened. And it's just a harsh reality of fighting.
And then, but what about this? The French guy fought. I can't remember what his name is. He's a very similar style to Mario, like forward pressure, knees in your face, sort of like an Alfie Pierce, sort of like that.
Kind of, yeah. Like Alfie's a bit different. Alfie like clinches to me.
Yeah.
Where Darren was just like a good kneer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like his clinch is all right, but it's more like just a very good kneer.
Yeah.
And Dan again was doing well in that fight, but Dan's main issue in that fight was just where like eager to please, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he hit him with a clean elbow just before the end.
You should have seen fucking Darren in the back room afterwards.
Yeah.
Couldn't walk. His head was like all... Yeah.
I think that's why Dan was so upset, because because he was getting up.
Because
he was getting up, man, and the ref sort of called it off as he was getting up.
In the corner, I'm like, Dan, trust me, you're hurting his leg, you're hurting his body, just keep chipping away. And I think Dan just wanted to hurt him from the...
Could you argue that adrenaline could have won, because it's a 5-round fight, right? That's third round, I think it was.
It's third round.
Third round. So they go back to their corners. He might be coming out that 4th round with a compromised leg. And that fight just completely turns around.
Yeah, at the highest level, especially at that level, because Darren's like multiple like IFMA champion.
Good fighter. He's a very good fighter, again, man, and he's big. He's a big, long.
You don't know anything about him.
Long.
Like when because again, Dan agreed that fight for himself, and I was like, Dan, it's a hard fight. Dan, I think you can beat him, but it's a hard fight. This is where you're going to do well. This is where you're going to do bad. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, but again, also at the same time, what people don't get, he's setting up his gym. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking hard running the gym, man. It's fucking hard. You try and train your own fighters. Yeah, and
he's got a lot.
And I think he's just coming out of this now. I'm telling you, when he fights again next year, you'll see a.
Because everything's settled now. The gym's settled.
The
foundations all
settled. He's got people helping him.
Yeah,
he's got it's all settled.
Yeah. There's no.
I feel a bit weird actually talking about it. To be fair, I hate talking about other people's shit. Dan would say the same thing. To be fair, Dan would say the same thing.
But to be fair, we got. There's quite a few questions as well that people have obviously sent in.
No, go on then.
A lot of love.
A quick one. See one of your fighters, how many times a year would you want them to fight?
As much as they want.
As much as they want.
I tell some of my guys, I'm like, none of you have any fucking right to complain about how active you are, because you can fight as much as you want. As long as I think you're good enough, you can fight as much as you want. Like one of my fighters, Dean, has fought 6 times this year, pro level, all pro. 6 times, that's a lot for a pro fighter. One of my fighters, Archie, started fighting in April this year. He's had 6 fights in 8 months. And to be fair, he's had 3 pullouts. He would have fought 9 times. It's as much as you want. As long as you're not compromised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You will fight as much as you want and as much as I think you can. So it just varies. I think at pro level, momentum is everything. So like once you've had a lot of fights back to back and like you can ride off that momentum, so you can maybe fight a little bit less. Do you know what I mean? So like Dean, he's had 6 fights this year. He's absolutely smashed it. Next year, I'd like 4. And I think maybe the year after that, 3 would be perfect. I think 3 at pro level Thai boxing a year is perfect.
Good. Yeah.
Maybe 2 at the highest level. Highest level, as long as you keep training in between. But 3 is a sweet spot once you've got momentum, if that makes sense.
Yeah, once you've built up.
Yeah. Once you've got that momentum, because momentum's everything. Like once you've got that momentum, ring rust won't settle in. If you lose that momentum, that's where ring rust sets. Be that little bit slower. Reaction is a little bit slower. Like it's hard to see. Like it's like you, if you can spar, then have 2 weeks off, come back and you feel that tad bit slower, and it might take 1 round or 2 to adapt. So imagine taking a year off or 2 years off. What would that do? Do you see what I mean? So, to answer your question, as much as they want, but as much as I think they can or should.
Yeah.
So there's no number to it, really.
So we got a question here. How does the UK Muay Thai scene differ from Thailand Muay Thai, and which do you prefer?
So the Thai box... what do I prefer? It's answering 2 questions. So the difference between the Thai boxing scene in the UK and Muay Thai... in Thailand... UK Thai boxing scene, it's a little bit more. So you obviously can't fight as regularly because I think there's shows almost every weekend, but like depending on what level you're at, some shows can't fit you in or whatever. But also, I think it's probably a little bit more politics maybe in UK Thai boxing. Like, I mean, I personally think all fights should be with elbows, all fights, and I try to push all my fighters to have elbow pads, but then some can't, so because of that, you got to do without it. And sometimes you're taking fights where you're like, for instance, someone's a big punch. Oh, am I waffling right now? I think I might be answering this too deep. I
go as deep as you want.
I could go
as deep as you want.
I could do this for ages. My head's like that. The main difference is in Thai boxing is very simple. You can fight whenever you want, all right, and it's easy just to build momentum that way. Where sometimes in the UK scene, like, you probably get more pullouts, harder to find, especially when you get to higher level. There's ticket sales, there's all them little bits.
Yeah.
So I think building momentum up in the UK is slower than it is in Thailand. But obviously in Thailand there's more fighters.
Yeah.
So I think the pace is different over here. People, and that's another thing as well, like I don't believe any round should be a minute and a half. Like why are fucking amateur fights a minute and a half? And then people wonder why they just go fucking swinging for the fences and then wonder why it looks scrappy. Or if you take elbows out of the equation at amateur level or C-class level, you wonder why it's sometimes still scrappy. You cannot throw fucking big wild punching combinations when you're going to get elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
I say to people all the time, why don't you see a lot of like big boxing combinations in high level Thai boxing because they get elbowed?
Yeah.
My Archie's last fight of the weekend showed that. You want to come out strong, no worries. Walk to an elbow, change the game like that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So similar to like what we were saying about one, there's multiple different styles of Thai boxing in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where in Thailand, it's just their style.
It's the
From
standard.
the age of 8 years old to fucking however old you want to fight, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Level playing field.
Yeah, everyone knows what they're getting, I think. People say the Thais are a slower start. Well, yeah, because they know they can get hurt more later on. Do you know what I mean? Like, they play the longer game because the margin to get hurt is way higher. Where if you're fighting in a shorter round fight, you can sort of go balls to the wall and sort of take the risk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's the main difference, is that you have to adapt between the levels of UK Thai boxing, where in Thai boxing in Thailand, you just adapt to the opposition.
Which one do you prefer?
Oh, Thailand.
Thailand.
That's a good question.
Thailand.
That was a good question. Yeah. I think a lot of these from boys in your gym.
That was me shorter as well. That was me trying to shorter.
Who is your favourite up and coming Thai fighter in the UK?
Oh,
Question from Jordan Howard.
oh, my favourite up and coming. Fucking, that's a hard one. That's a hard one because you know what? I don't actually think about that stuff too much.
Yeah.
Up and coming. I'm trying to think who's climbing the rankings, doing really, really well. I tell you what, I can't give you an answer to a name,
Yeah.
but I think who do I think's got the best up and coming young lads in the UK? I think it's Alex Foreman. Alex Foreman's gym he's got a lot of young, good, stylistic, hungry young lads fighting up north and mixing between Thailand. I think they're doing great. I'll have a think about an actual individual in a bit. I need to let my mind think of it.
Another one here. Is your goal to get your fighters on the big shows like RWS and One Championship?
If they want to. I don't care. That's the real, I don't care.
Real.
I don't care. What's it to me?
Yeah.
If they're good enough and they want to do it and they got an opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
If they're not, it's irrelevant. I don't think it should be the coach's goal. I think it's the fighter's goal. But I just want them to do well at any level. Do you see what I mean? So
Yeah.
You're just there to give them 100%, regardless
that's it.
whatever it is.
Whether they're fighting in fucking
Berry Park.
You know what I mean? If they're fighting in a little community centre, it's the same thing. It's the same thing from me.
What are your views on Thai boxing rule sets within the UK?
I think it's way too diluted. I think 3 simple rule sets to accommodate 3 different types of Thai boxing fans or like competitors, right? Amateur, semi-pro, pro. Amateur, full Thai rules, no head guard, fuck that shit, it's just Thai rule. But elbow pads, shin pads a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
5-2s. So 5-round fight. If it's 3 rounds, make it 3-3s always. But if it's amateur, 5-2s, elbow pads, shin pads a lot, no body armour, no head guard, nothing like that. Semi-pro, again 5-2s, full Thai rules. Oh, sorry, hold on. Amateurs, full Thai rules, elbow pads a lot, no knees to the head, okay? Just because there's no padding there, get your bearings a bit, because what amateurs do turn a lot, they put their head down too much, and sometimes people don't want to take it too seriously, but you need elbows to make it Thai boxing. It does change in the punching factor a lot.
Yeah.
Semi-pro, which is basically full Thai rules, everything but elbow pads, 5-3s, and then full Thai rules to take the elbow pads off.
Simple.
Simple as that. That's it. Nothing else. No in between.
That's how we clean it up.
That's it, man.
Lewis Taylor's just cleaned up the sport.
Yeah, fuck all this, like N class, C class, B class, A class, Pro-Am, C class with elbow pads, B
I
class.
know, there's so much, man.
It's too much. I'm still getting Heyman to get casuals on board with.
No, that is the issue. There's just too much.
So if I had to have like my pure like take away the casuals to the hardcore fight fans, I would probably just do full Thai rules with shin pads and then A class. But then like you have to do a mandatory of 15 amateur fights before you go pro. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I think that middle bit in between sort of like just gives people that bit of bridge they might need.
Yeah.
Because if someone might do a pro-am fight, do 5-3s, knees to the head, but elbow pads and go, yeah, that's enough for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think the 3 rule sets is... Because same as boxing, right?
Yeah.
Because you have like boxing fights that are like 8-round fights, 6-round fights, and it just builds them up slowly.
Yeah.
You need to get used to different... Do you know what I mean? So I think that's it. I mean, like, it'd be great to be like Thailand, but you can't have like 8-year-olds like elbowing each other.
Yeah.
You know
Cutting
what I
each
mean?
other
So,
up. Yeah.
you can't do that.
CT special, man.
Yeah, fuck that. No.
What's the hardest fight you've had to prepare a fighter for?
It's probably Salah versus Jodson Clyde.
Yeah.
Like, Jodson Clyde was that fight. If you don't know him, he's that guy who's got, you know exactly what he's going to do to you. He's going to fucking throw a big left straight. He's going to throw a big left kick. He's going to throw a big right hook. Little bits in between, but they're his main weapons, and there's nothing you can do about it. It was one of those, like, you're like, he's going to kick you. He just kicked me. Like,
Yeah.
How do you prepare for it? And I think, like, it was like, and as well, like, with a fight like that, you're like, how different are they to the average Joe, right? How different, how much stronger, how much faster, how much, you don't know until you're in there. You can watch fights, right, but it's hard. And I was also very young at the time. So my game plan between that is southpaw, keep moving to the left, just be aware of the right hook, be tricky, constantly keep him guessing. But he was so adaptable and he's just so good. When you have someone who's had like 200-300 fights at that level, so hard. Mm-hmm. That's probably the hardest one I've ever had to deal with at like the highest level. But from like a standard UK level, all of them are hard because you can't guarantee the game plan's going to work. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it works. And also, well, like, you can have a great game plan, but it's only as good as the person executing it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd probably say the Salah and Jodson one's hard because it was always going to be a big ask. Did I believe Salah could do it? Yes. Do I believe he could lose? 100% yes. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was probably the hardest one.
Some of them we have answered, to be fair, but I feel like we answered this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just in case. Story behind the notorious Minotaur's walkout music.
Yeah, just I think my I don't know actually whose idea it was. It was either my uncle or my dad's, and they were like, "Yeah, let's make a," because obviously, like I said, like Hit was involved in all that family, friends, and that. Like, let's make us a song, and that was it. And it sort of catched on, and it never left.
Yeah,
that's really it. Really, I think I must be the only gym in the UK that has their own song.
Yeah, I think you're the.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Like as a gym, not individual gym.
No,
that's good though.
In any discipline,
it's good. Yeah,
in any
everyone remembers it. It's great.
In any discipline.
When you hear that, you think, oh shit, it's
like a WWE sort of entrance, man.
I love it, man. I get a buzz when they're like, oh, we're finding a Minotaur lab and it's gonna be hard. I love that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like I love that.
Top 5 tips for younger coaches in the sport.
All right, because probably I was only a few years ago. I was probably in the same position. Cut the bullshit out. Be truthful. Don't teach. Be as selfless. Be as selfless as you can be. Get rid of your ego. Get rid of what you think's right, and just try and look at everything from a neutral perspective. Be true. Cut with all the shit, all the fluff, and just do your best, man. Do your best. Love the sport. Don't love yourself or the gym. Love the sport, and just try your best to do the best job you can. As long as you're being genuine, you'll probably do a decent job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Were you coached by Christian Knowles as a kid? If so, how was it? Yeah,
so Chris was one of my dad's fighters. I was coached by Chris and my dad. It was good. Like, to be honest, my Chris was taught by my dad, so the teachings were very much similar. The same. Yeah, very, very similar. They had little subtle differences in techniques, but general teachings the same.
So would you one of your fighters match up with a John Haggerty potentially? Like has John Haggerty got that Knowlesy Academy style? Because I know he fights out there, but does he have that traditional?
John's a different. John's style was a mixture of different coaches.
Yeah.
I think I think John's original trainer was probably his dad. And then he had Alan Kettle had a lot of him for his career.
Yeah, I forgot about Alan Kettle.
Alan Kettle taught John a lot. And then Alan's a little bit like me, but an older version, keeps himself to himself. Do you know what I mean? Just sort of like, Alan's been a great coach for years. But I think John needed, like, because he was getting rise, he just needed that extra push from like a young, hungry coach, which Chris was at the time several years ago. Do you know what I mean? So I think John was always doing a bit of pieces here and there. So John's style isn't Chris's style. Yeah. It's a mixture of...
He's brought like...
and I think
molded his own.
And I think Chris is very good at adapting to that style. Like, if you're truly a good coach, you need to be adaptable. It shouldn't be like it shouldn't be like, I like doing this, so I'm going to make you do this. No. Like, I need to understand this and work around how you do things, and then coach of like, you do this good, but it needs tweaking here, or you do this good, but someone could counter that doing this. Does that make sense? That's what a good coach, and I think Chris did that for John perfectly. Because John's got a very, very different style to most. Very dynamic, very switchy, but powerful. Because usually switchy means flicky, but he's not. Do you know what I mean?
What was he like with gloves on?
Pretty much the same, to be honest.
Was he?
Yeah. John's always been a good puncher.
Was he cleaning people out?
Yeah.
With the big gloves on?
Yeah, even with the big gloves. Yeah, John's always known for being explosive and powerful.
He's a monster now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he gets from A, like you said, he's explosive. He gets from A to B.
So dynamic, yeah, he's always explosive, yeah. So he's pretty much the same. I think he's one of them styles where you're like, I wasn't sure if he'd translate well to little gloves, and he's done it perfectly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though, because a lot of people, when they're good punchers, they're greedy. Like, sometimes, like, there's some guys that are, like, really devastating punchers in their normal gloves, and it doesn't always translate well to them little gloves, because them little gloves now, everyone's a hard hitter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're too greedy with it, where you can be seen, and you miss, you can get caught out. Yeah, do you see what I mean? So he's one of them ones where I think, his style translated really well.
How does it feel to play a part in the UK Muay Thai growth?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
Too humble.
I don't think I do. I don't know. Like, if I am contributing to it, I think it's just a byproduct of passion.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think if people are looking at me going, I think Lewis is doing great for the sport and his fight's doing well, or they watch my videos and they think, oh, I like that technique, I do that, then great. I love the support, but I do it all for passion. It's not anything like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that was a thing.
I think we've answered this question. Like I said, I'll ask it anyway, just in case. Why is it taking so long for Muay Thai to gain traction in places like the US and the UK?
I think it's just traditions.
Yeah.
So, like, kickboxing's never been big in America because their association with kickboxing is all like the foam feet and the flicky stuff.
Yeah.
So once you've set that standard, people still
long
think
trousers.
People still associate kickboxing in America with that, where actually kickboxing in America now is K1.
Yeah.
So I think when people hear Thai boxing, they're like, oh, flary elbows, like fucking guy from Street Fighter, what's his name? Yeah. Like, they still associate with that. So I think that pure tradition, people still think that is Thai boxing currently. And it is that, but not fully that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They still think, slow round 1 and 2.
Once people watch it, though, that's all it takes to see it.
You know what? I think that's what one championship are trying to find. So, like, the UFC was in a similar situation where one is now, where, like, they're sort of like they're getting traction, but it's not fucking. It hasn't got that big leap yet. And their leap for the UFC was the Ultimate Fighter, Forrest Griffin versus Stephen Bonner. Like, there's actually like statistics where they could see people flicking over their TV to fucking watch this mad fight. People must have been calling each other up, going, "This is mad. Watch this." And I think one championship is trying to still find that.
They just need,
They need this one event or this one fight where it just goes boom. When will they get it? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the only thing it really needs now. And I think, for instance, like John and Nico, if John keeps going on the rise that he is, which I think he will, and Nico does as well, if you can get that fight in the UK, doesn't even need to be a big arena, and market it really well and put some money behind it, and you get people going, what's this? What's this? Maybe. And then people go to this fight card, it's full of fucking UK talent. They're going, this is fucking insane.
That's what I mean. The UK
this
talent
is insane.
To build it, innit?
Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think maybe that could do something, like help boost it even more, but time will tell.
What do you reckon with that Nico and Nongo fight?
What do I think the prediction is? I think it's a great fight for Nico right now. I think Nongo's just been stopped by John. He was really ill after that. He almost fucking like died from like an infection or something.
Did he?
Yeah, he got really ill. He's right now. So it's and Nico's on the right. It's a great time for Nongo, but it's Nongo. He's come back and forth for his whole fight career. I think if the longer the fight goes on, it's only a 3-round fight. I think if Nico doesn't starch him in the first, Nongo's got a way better chance. Nico's is most explosive in the first round, but he has stopped people in the third round. But I think with someone's experience like Nongo, he can nullify Nico's power. And if he nullifies his power, he wins. It's just whether he can. If I had to put my fucking house on it, you would just say Nico because he's young, hungry, bigger.
Yeah, he's a big guy to be
But
fair.
I would never cut. I would never not like, cut Nongo out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'd never not go, he's done. Nah,
He's that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy. Yeah, he's fought a few times where he shouldn't have won, but he did.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean?
let's say Nico wins and him and John sort of, they can make that sort of mega fight. What do you reckon out of that?
I actually think John. So I think Nico's the bigger, stronger guy. But I think John is way more rounded and he's more adaptable to nullify Nico's strengths. Does that make sense? Like, Nico's got like very good offense and not as good defense. I'm not saying his defense bad, but his explosiveness outshines his defense. And there's been a few fights where, again, if you're a hardcore and and you've watched all them fights, some people have capitalised on that issue with Nico, and John is definitely more than good enough to capitalise on it. But in little gloves, anything can happen.
Yeah. It's just back to the little gloves.
The little gloves change everything, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's always that puncher's chance, but at highest level, not as much as what people think. Them little gloves fucking put it right up there.
Boost it up to like 100%.
It's like when you watch like high-level boxing fights, right? You're like, you kind of still know what's going to happen. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, them little gloves, mate, anything can
Imagine
happen.
watching boxing, little gloves.
It's basically fucking one championship.
Yeah.
With elbows. It's even worse. It's even worse, you know what I mean? It's the same sort of thing. So, no, I think if that answers your question, I think John would, especially in a 5-rounder, I think John would use his teeps early, be dynamic, use his ring craft, chip away, and eventually I think, probably get a decision for Nico.
Yeah. Is there anything we've not touched on?
No.
Any questions you still got? None from you. Anything we've not touched on with you that's coming up that you want to touch? Because we do have 2 more questions that we ask everyone. But just before, is there anything we have?
I've got a lot of. You'll find out next year for the gym. Yeah, I've got some big shit planned.
Wicked. I'll look forward to it. 2 finishing questions we ask everyone. This comes on the pod. So when it's all said and done for you, you're retired. You've got Minotaurs. You've got the iconic name. Well, it's got the iconic name anyway. But you've built up your own iconic name. How do you actually want to be remembered in life?
Fucking, I could go deep with this one.
Go deep, man.
All seriousness, I want to be known as. I just want to be known as a guy who fucking gave a shit. I just want to be known as a guy. I want to be known as Lewis Taylor. He's a good guy and he's a real one. Literally, that's it. I don't want this like my own personal goal is I want to be recognised undoubtedly as the best coach in the UK, but I don't want to be remembered as that. I want to be remembered as, like, Lewis is the guy where he was like an all-rounder, you know. If you needed him for help, he was there. If you needed good Thai boxing training, he's there. If you needed a good friend, do you know what I mean? I just wanted to be, like, just known as a fucking good guy. That's it, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Nothing more than that, really. I don't care about fucking fame. I don't care about any, like, titles or glory, like, anything like that. Just recognised as, like, same as my dad, mate. Same as my dad. Like, I want to be that known as that guy. Like, look, fucking Lewis was a good guy, or like Paul. You know, like whether I was a 16-year-old novice in the gym or I was a pro fighter, he treated us all the same. And I'm basically that now, but just hopefully I don't become an arsehole.
Love that. And the finishing question: your most euphoric moment in life so far?
My most. Say it again?
Your most euphoric moment in life so far. So the pinnacle for you, a moment that when you think about it, it gives you like goosebumps to this day. You can picture it clearly, like you're there again.
Fuck. Jesus, man. That's a deep one. I love that. I love that. I fucking love that. Oh man, I've had fucking loads, man. I've had you know what, some of them are like the littlest things. Like the littlest things. Like I was just saying to you, like some of my like top like best moments are like just, for instance, like me, like one is like, so when I was setting up my gym, there was more rubble than I expected, so I needed help to clear up the extra rubble. So Salah was like, "I'll come help you. All good." We're in this dusty ass like concrete gym by myself, and he's come up to me. He's like, "Lewis, your dad would be so proud." Do you know what I mean? That's like one of them like big moments in there. Like, yeah, you're fucking right. Or like when fucking even like when like McGowan, when he beat Sandro, he like hugs me like, thank you so, like just thank you. You know what I mean? Like it's genuine. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? There's some of like the biggest moments. Or like one lad in my gym where So this one's quite recent. I got a message from one of his family members. If I say, he'll know who it is. And he's like, Lewis, the best thing that ever happened to him was he fucking met you. He's like, because before he met you, we didn't know what he was going to do, what he was going to do to himself, whatever. And you've completely changed his life, and we are forever grateful. That do you know what I mean? That is like some of my most pinnacle moments.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's wicked, man.
There you go, yeah.
Thank you. It's been unreal. This has been brilliant, man. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it, man.
Pleasure.
I'm sure it won't be the last time either, because that was your mind on fighting, the way you look at things, situations.
You know what it is? I don't know. Like I always think again, like, why? I ask myself, why am I like this? Why? What? People that get to know me, I'm so deep, man. I'm so deep. I rant and I talk and I'm passionate, and I just think why? And I think I don't know. Like I've done this my whole life. I've never truly loved anything else. Never liked football. Never liked rugby. Never done anything else. I'm also very lucky enough where I've been surrounded by deep roots of UK Thai boxing. I've also got very deep roots in Thailand. We could cover that a whole other story. I've got a lot of like friends in Thailand that I could tell you stories about, and like I've got all these little life experiences that no one knows about because I keep myself to myself. Do you know what I mean? And it just shaped me for what it is, and I think that's why, and I just love it. I love the sport. I could talk about it all day long. You should see us, me and McGarren, after every training session. We just fucking sit there talking shit for hours. Yeah, that's it. Because again, we're like the same people. It's great. I think again, like, do you know what I mean? So
no, that's brilliant, man. I'm sure everyone. Thank you for coming on. I'm sure everyone at home will love listening to your story, listening to things they've not heard about. People, go and follow Lewis Taylor. Go and follow Minotaur's gym. If you're around the area, go in there for a training session, man. Like they welcome everyone. Like, I've been there for 2.
Yeah, and I've classes every single day of the week. Multiple classes every single day. I only do Thai boxing, and everyone's welcome. I don't care if you fight or not. I say to people, I honestly, when I say I don't give a shit, I do it from a real place. I just want you to do well.
You just want the best of the person.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I have some people, I can't go there like they're a fighter's gym. Yeah, we're a fighter's gym, but you don't have to be a fighter.
It's because people get scared of the idea, don't they? No, I'm just going to go down there, I'm not good enough. But no, you are. Take that step to better yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
No one's going to kill you.
The physicalness to Thai boxing is just the surface. What it can do for you internally, mentally, is more than you can ever fucking realise. And that, on top of a good gym with good people, doesn't have to necessarily be Minatour Gym. Fucking hell, you'll be so surprised. It'll be the therapy you always fucking needed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
That's brilliant. Obviously, the links are in the bios, people. Make sure you click on the links and go check everything out. Thank you for tuning into the Curiosity Gym. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you never miss a mad episode like this, man. And
hashtag strip the ego.
Yeah, strip that ego back. And thank you for tuning in, and peace, people.
Cheers, guys.